This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. It is Friday. Friday!
Yay!
The smallest celebration on earth. August 28th, I'm Tori here with Jeff, and Lindsay joins us from home. Lindsay, how are you feeling?
I'm great. I'm having a great morning. Business is booming. We got paid today. I can't complain.
That's great. She said something funny. I can't hear her, so she said
like
something
it.
funny.
Yeah, well, let's address it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I can't hear anyone, so I'm going to go like this when Lindsay talks.
Oh, you can't hear what Lindsay talks. Well, let's be honest. You got here, what, at 5 in the morning to get ready to...
Wow. Insults starting early.
No, but I'll help you out. I get it. It's
Thanks.
tough when you can't hear Lindsay.
We're live. This is what happens. So
yeah.
Jeff's going to help me out with some smoke signals and some hand signals. Lindsay, feel free to keep going. I'm just going to nod along. Here we go. There's a march happening in D.C. today, right now, and we want to get to it just to show you. It looks like several thousand people are gathering on the National Mall. They're all there for the March on Washington, and it is to commemorate the 57th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington, where he spoke those famous words, "I have a dream." Man, do they resonate. I hope many people are wearing masks and as much as they can and having social distance because we're still in the middle of a pandemic. Meantime, last night was the president's time to shine at the RNC. He accepted his party's nomination with a 70-minute speech on the South Lawn of the White House in front of a packed crowd of about 1,500 guests. Now, most were not wearing masks. And unsurprisingly, he took a ton of shots at Joe Biden. Let's take a look.
We have spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years. Biden's record is a shameful roll call of the most catastrophic betrayals and blunders in our lifetime. He has spent his entire career on the wrong side of history.
Biden responded on Twitter saying, "Remember, every example of violence Donald Trump decries, has happened on his watch, under his leadership, during his presidency." Jeff, what do you think of his speech last night?
I listened to the whole thing. You know, I listened to both sides. I listened to Joe Biden's whole speech, and I listened to Donald Trump's whole speech. Listen, I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this whole thing. There were some certain things that stood out for me. I mean, let's just address the elephant in the room with the masks. Everyone knows how I have been diligent wearing my mask. I'm trying not to spread this, not only for myself, but for my family. So right off the bat, I didn't like everyone not wearing masks and not be tested. If they were all tested, different story, but I didn't like that. 2,000, 1,500, or whatever it was. And I'm not, listen, it is what it is. I'm going to talk about what spoke out to me a little bit. And I don't want to get in the weeds a little bit. He mentioned very briefly cancel culture in there, and that's another thing that sticks out to me. He mentioned speech codes, soul-crushing, like to conform. I don't agree with the soul-crushing part, but there is something that we need to do in America. Again, I'm not trying to spark a debate here, Lindsay, but I feel like I'm a little bit scared to talk on this show. I feel like I'm a little bit scared to talk in a group if I'm out somewhere. And if I say the wrong thing, it could mean my job. So I am a little bit nervous about that, where our culture is going. I get what's happening in America, but I could only speak for myself. I'll put that aside now. And the one thing I really liked, a woman on the moon. We're going back to the moon, Lindsay. We're going back to the moon.
He wants to go to the moon because it might be inside out. I don't know what's going on. Lindsay, we'd love your take. What's your take on that?
I think a lot of people voted Republican in 2016 and then maybe switched to, in the midterms in 2018, to Democratic vote. And so what the RNC did, I think, pretty brilliantly this week is just try to position themselves in a way to say that Trump is not, or President Trump is not the worst part of himself that he might have been, and that Ivanka said things like unfiltered instead of other words that were used to describe him. And so I think that he stood there, and we're seeing a very intense battle that's about to happen between now the Democrats and the Republicans, and he kind of stood his ground and said exactly what he plans to do. Now, it's up to everybody viewing it to fact check and find out what information they're going to actually believe at face value. But he did have a parade of Black, Latino, and women people speaking on his behalf, which I thought, for people that don't tune into the news every single week and just watch this, was brilliant on his part, especially because he's been bashed largely by those communities.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. I will say this, just what you said, you got to do your own fact checking. The social, we're going to come socialists, we're going to take your guns, or Biden's going to have open borders. That's just not true. Do your own fact checking on both sides, right? But the thing that just didn't pan for me was the idea of him being the savior of this America that's turbulent and violent and in a crossroads when it's actually his America. He's had 4 years. He's in charge. So that didn't pan for me, but I'd love to hear from you guys and how you felt about the entire evening. Well, speaking of the president, the family was there last night. His daughter Ivanka introduced her father as the people's president and even defended his tweeting. Let's take a look.
I recognize that my dad's communication style is not to everyone's taste, and I know that his tweets can feel a bit unfiltered, but the results speak for themselves.
But there was another moment that everyone is talking about on social media. Check out this exchange that took place with First Lady Melania Trump greeting her daughter-in-law on stage. She smiles, she nods, before making a series of interesting expressions. Speaking of which, there is a new book coming out that alleges all sorts of tensions between Melania and Ivanka. If you didn't know, there's something called Operation Block. Basically, they're saying in this book, allegedly, that during the inauguration of Donald Trump, Ivanka tried to get the spotlight, and Melania positioned herself to block her from all the different angles. I don't know what's true. I have heard the rumors is they don't love each other. What do you think of it, Lindsay?
I mean, that facial expression, I don't like to read into people's facial expressions because I know some people say when I'm not smiling, they think that I'm miserable or angry. But that looked pretty specifically like, okay, girl, I can't stand you, but we're going to stand here and pretend. I don't know, but I also like drama, and I told you I would read all the unauthorized biographies and everything. So, listen, I'm here for it. I really want to know what happened. I want to read that book. I want to know about Operation Block Ivanka. I will say that Ivanka is very predominantly in this role inside of this presidency, and more than any other daughter I've seen, I think, in recent history anyway.
Yeah, and I do have to say, I don't think they've ever seemed warm to each other. Jeff, would you categorize that as an insult, a little snub?
I don't know. I think people are looking too much into this.
You do that to me every day when I walk by you.
Yeah, but people know. I do it out in the open, you know what I mean? But there has been times on my show when we're talking, or our show, when someone's talking, but me specifically is what I'm talking about, and I'll be looking off at like a cue or looking at something else, and they're like, he's not even paying attention. Look at this guy. He doesn't care about these issues. And you're misreading what I'm doing, right? So if you're looking into, she gave a different look. I mean, you're up on stage in front of millions of people. I think people are looking too much into it. But hey, it's Friday. Go crazy, you know what I mean? Get nuts on the internet.
Hey, he gets all Italian. I love it. All right, and I do want to hear what you all thought about also the green dress, because it was the color of the green screen. So a lot of people used that as sort of a fun little Photoshop thing that's going on. How much time do we have left?
We're just going to keep it here. You didn't think Melania looked pretty last night?
I thought she looked stunning. Can I just say, that woman can
But you didn't say.
Oh, I think I think Melania wears clothes like an angel. Do I agree with anything she says? No, but she can wear clothes. That woman can wear clothes.
We're out of time because you can't hear, but I'm glad you gave her a little bit of a compliment. Hey, a little bit.
She can wear clothes.
She can wear clothes like an angel.
Coming up on DBL, a young mother wife vanishes only to turn up 3 weeks later, bound and branded on the side of the road. The search for answers coming up in True Crime Chronicles. Plus, baby name drama. Find out who's accusing Katy Perry of being unoriginal when it comes to her daughter's name, Daisy. I wonder if her name is also Daisy. Let's take an look at our empty studio. Most of our employees are still working from home. During the pandemic, we made it through another week. Let's give ourselves a pat on the back, y'all. Good for you. You do it at home, too. We'll be right back.
Introducing the future.
Song Daisies from her new album Smile that dropped today. Daisy, as we know, is also the name of her daughter, who was born on Wednesday. But get this, an Australian radio DJ says Katy may have stolen the name from her. Huh, Jeff? Katy met radio.
I left you hanging on purpose.
Katy met radio host Fifi Box while she was on a promotional tour down under. She also met Fifi's 2 children. The host says Katy was really fond of her youngest, Daisy. Take a look.
It's funny, Fev. I just had a feeling because you were there, and we obviously recorded an interview for the radio. But then I thought when she released the song, I went, no, she wouldn't do a song and the baby, but we've got another Daisy.
She doesn't seem mad, but if you had kids with...
That's a pretty big ego to think that Katy Perry...
Yeah.
And it's not like your kid's name's Kombucha. It's like Daisy. That's pretty common. What an ego on that, Ozzy.
It was a little like much to think that she stole it. Were you scared of having any names taken from you? Were you like protective?
Yes. Oh, it's a big thing.
Yeah, okay.
It's a big thing. You try to rhyme it with other names and see if it matches any body parts, right?
Yeah.
You know, like all those things.
Totally. Lindsay, do you have any names that you and Colin, you know, if you're thinking of having kids, would want to keep close to your heart?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought of names since I was little, like that I won't tell anybody because I don't want them to steal. And I've seen people get in real arguments having kids around the same time that have the same name. Totally. That's a really specific name. And I do think that Katy Perry stole this woman's baby's name, especially with a picture in the baby's face like that. Katy Perry's a human and has the same blood that we all have. Just because she looked at a baby and said, oh my God, I love this, she stole the name.
And she was pregnant at the time. Now, also, is that not just flattering? What if someone named their kid Leighton?
Ooh, you almost slipped up there. You almost slipped up. That'd be flattering.
Right.
That'd be flattering for me.
Right?
But I mean, Daisy is a pretty common name, right?
Yeah.
I think it's fairly common.
But Jeff, what if a celebrity came on the show and you introduced them to your kid and then they took your name like a year later? You would be like, oh, I inspired that. Come on.
I would feel honored, though. I would like that.
It's flattering.
It would be very flattering. But I did hold names close to our chest. So, like, Lawson we liked, Leighton we liked. And so when I tell other people, they're like, what's your number one? I'm like, Tom. And they're like, oh, my God, Tom beat me up when I was in high school. I'm like, I didn't even ask for your opinion, and I'm not even thinking about naming him Tom. So get away from me.
Bertha, coming up on DBL, a mom disappears while jogging, but then she turns up alive weeks later. The mystery unfolds in True Crime Chronicles.
This was when I noticed how white my son's teeth were and how yellow mine were, and I needed to make a change.
My smile's yellowish or dingy, and it definitely made me self-conscious.
I can't magically become younger, but I can certainly look younger. And I'm doing that with Smile Actives.
Introducing Smile Actives, the teeth whitening breakthrough that gets your teeth white and keeps them white.
I eat the blueberries, I drink the coffee, and I know that Smile Actives will keep my teeth white every day.
What makes Smile Actives different is that when added to any toothpaste, its revolutionary polyclean technology activates, transforming into a powerful microfoam that goes into the enamel surface.
Welcome back to DBL. Sherry Papini's story is one of the most mysterious unsolved cases in California. The mother claims she was abducted, held captive, and then released. We're taking a fresh look at the case in DBL's True Crime Chronicles.
Sherry Papini was described as a supermom by her husband Keith. The couple was happily married, raising 2 kids. On November 2nd, 2016, Sherry went for a run in the small town of Mountain Gate in Shasta County, California. Later that day, she never picked up her kids from daycare. Her husband frantically called her, but no answer. So he tracked her phone and called 911.
So I just drove down there and I saw her phone with her headphones because she started running again. And I found her phone and it's got like hair ripped out of it, like in the headphones. So I'm like totally freaking out, thinking like somebody grabbed her.
Police issued a massive search and investigation.
As the details continue to surface and new tips come in,
Keith knew his wife would never abandon their kids and feared the worst.
Bring her home, bring her home. Just bring her home.
22 days later, a trucker spots Sherry on the side of a rural road, 150 miles away from home. She was bound at the waist by a chain, a hose clamp was fixed to her ankles, and she had been beaten, bruised, and branded on her shoulder. Surveillance video shows Sherry running frantically near an interstate just moments before she was found. Sherry claimed she had been abducted and held captive.
we do not know who the captors are. We do not know a motive at this time.
This is the sketch of the 2 Hispanic women Sherry claimed to have kidnapped her.
She is very relieved to be returned home safely and be reunited with her husband.
Home, safe, but yet so many questions unanswered. Why was she abducted? And how did she escape?
You never think you'd be in a position like this. I would never wish this feeling upon anybody.
Earlier, Sam and Erica spoke with an investigative reporter in California who's been working on this case. Take a look.
We are joined by investigative reporter Ananda Rochita from ABC 10 in Sacramento, California. Thank you for joining us. Now, it's been almost 4 years now. How is Sherry doing today? What are the latest developments in the case?
Yeah, Sherry is barely seen out of her home, and her husband Keith has just talked to reporters just a few times since everything happened. I did reach out to the Shasta County Sheriff's Department and the FBI, who are investigating this case as well, and they said they have no more information to give out to the public, but that this is still an open investigation.
Ananda, investigators did find traces of DNA on Sherry's clothes. So will they ever retest that with new DNA technology similar to what was used to catch the Golden State Killer?
That is a possibility. So the DNA that was found on Sherry's body when she was found, they tested it through a system called CODIS. It's FBI's combined DNA index system. But it works with only a small pool of people because it's relatively new. It was created in the 1990s. And if you're not in the system already for a crime, then it wouldn't be able to match that DNA to people in the system. So genetic genealogy has really been a game changer for a lot of agencies. And there is a possibility that they may have be testing this but not making it public. It's something that a lot of agencies are doing right now, and we're hearing about it once they make that arrest. So the big case, like you mentioned, was the Golden State Killer case.
What's crazy to me is all the controversy surrounding this case. Some people say that Sherry fabricated the kidnapping because she reappeared on the road one day. How have police responded to that theory? Is there any credence to it?
So they have responded to some of the theories. One of them is whether Sherry left willingly or she was kidnapped. So just a few days before she disappeared, she was talking to a man from Michigan and texting him. The Sheriff's Department did follow up on that lead, and they say that he was not involved in her disappearance whatsoever, and that even her husband is not considered a suspect in this case too. There was also some speculation on whether she could have been targeted for human trafficking. There was also possibility of this being involvement of a cult. So when she was found, she was bruised, battered, her hair was cut very short, and she was also branded. And the Sheriff's Department only said branded, but they wouldn't specify what kind of branding was found on her. They said that that is confidential, but they are following up on that lead.
Wow.
But as for now, the Sheriff's Department wouldn't comment on the human trafficking or whether this was a cult, but they are still saying that this is an open investigation, and there is a $10,000 reward leading up to information that would ID those 2 suspects.
Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. I I just pray that justice is brought. Thank you so much, Ananda, for bringing this case to light. Very important. And for the latest on this case, DBL Nation, visit abc10.com. You can also listen to the new podcast episode, Sherry Papini Kidnapping. Just search True Crime Chronicles on your favorite podcast player. Thank you, Ananda. We'll be right back.
Promotional
Welcome back to DBL. Research shows there's been a surge in road trips and pet adoptions this summer. So when it comes to traveling with your pet, what's the best way to do it? Well, we're chatting about it on today's DBL Drive, sponsored by who, y'all?
CarShield.
Jeff, say it.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was Al's
Say
thing.
it.
CarShield.
That's right. First, prepare your pet for a long trip.
Wow, you made me conform. You are totally
You're
canceling
a
me.
sheep now. Take them on shorter car rides leading up to the big one. The second tip is buckle up. Your pet should be safe and secure in a well-ventilated crate or carrier. Make sure it's big enough for your pet to stand, sit, and turn around in. If you prefer no crate, keep them in the back seat with a harness attached to the seat belt. Lastly, prep a travel kit that includes water, food, a bowl, plastic bags, and a first aid kit. When it comes to to traveling for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects the high costs of auto repairs for their members. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. I love that. Linz, we got some great comments I wanted to get your opinion on. Sue Ann from Facebook says, I thought President Trump gave a great speech. I changed from the opposite party, to this party less than 2 years ago, as I feel too much hatred on that side and too much pushing for socialism. What do you think about that comment?
I mean, I think watching both of the debates, both of the conventions, you can see that they were both clearly intentionally attacking one another. So I definitely wouldn't sway on the side of either one, because that was the agenda, obviously, and the most important point for both of the conventions.
Yeah, that's true. Migdalia says President Trump blames someone that is not in office for his shortcoming, not voting for him. So we got a variety of opinions. That's DBL for you.
Hello.
DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place on Monday. Bye, everyone. Have a good weekend. Live. President Trump blasts Joe Biden on the final night of the Republican convention.
Biden's record is a shameful roll call.
What did you think of his speech, DBL Nation? And an odd exchange between Melania and Ivanka is caught on camera. What's really going on with those two? School in the time of coronavirus, as a group of high school athletes stand up to parents.
The ask that you keep in mind that by wearing your mask, you are supporting all of us athletes.
And Style, Not Size, the inspiring story of two women who started a body positivity movement on TikTok.
I love my body and I want to be able to show it off.
I love it.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. Eric Cobb will be joining us, but I have to toss it to her first, Jeff. I'm sorry.
You jumped the gun. I'm with you. I want to hear it too.
Because what day is it, E?
It's Friday.
I've been waiting for this day all week. Are you ready for the weekend?
Always.
Anything
always.
fun in a pandemic?
No, family time, barbecues. That's fun for me, man. That's
redoing your home.
Yeah, I'm kind of caught up. There's always stuff to do, but relax. Relaxy taxi.
What?
Relaxy taxi.
Wow, did you just make that up?
No, it's from Friends, I think, right? Remember?
Relaxy taxi. I think you just pulled that one out of your bag of no
We
tricks.
started off so well, and it just went downhill.
Good. At least we don't have any expectation for the rest of the show. That's what I'm aiming for. Okay, so very important day today because there is a march happening in D.C. It looks like several thousand people are gathering on the National Mall. They're all there for the March on Washington. It's to commemorate, of course, the 57th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington, where he spoke those famous words, "I have a dream." Now, meantime, last night was the president's time to shine at the RNC. He accepted his party's nomination with a 70-minute speech on the South Lawn of the White House in front of a packed crowd. Look at that. That's about 1,500 guests, most not wearing masks, and unsurprisingly, he took a ton of shots at Joe Biden. Watch.
We have spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years. Biden's record is a shameful roll call of the most catastrophic betrayals and blunders in our lifetime. He has spent his entire career on the wrong side of history.
And Biden responded on Twitter saying, "Remember, every example of violence Donald Trump decries has happened on his watch under his leadership during his presidency." Jeff, let me start with you. What did you think of the case that the president made for his reelection?
All right, Sam, it's tough to put all this into 3 minutes, but I'm going to try. You know what I mean? So I think if you're a diehard Republican, he spoke to you and showed you what a world's going to look like under Joe Biden, right? So in that case, and that case only, it was a success for the president, right? I want to start off by saying, because I've been very clear about this, with the whole mask wearing thing, I did not like that at all. It's not what America needs to see. We already divided on this subject. I mean, let's play out the scenario. Let's say we're all wearing masks for no reason. Then we all wore masks for a couple months and we're idiots. Let's play out your scenario. Everyone gets COVID and a lot more people die. So what scenario do you want to look at? I didn't like that at all. I do want to touch on something very quickly that he did talk about the president in his long speech that spoke to me. It rang a bell. It's about cancel culture in the era that we're in, right? To quote him, he used speech codes, soul-crushing conformity, and that spoke to me in a way that I know I'm a white male and people are like, I don't want to hear you cry, right? But if I don't conform to 100% of what the social mob says, I'm part of the problem. And that rang true to me, right? So I'm sure other people out there like me that feel the same way. I don't know how to talk about this without knowing that I'm going to get some sort of hate speech. I know there's bigger things in the world. Am I on board with Black Lives Matter? 100%. Am I on board about getting better cops in the system? 100%. So don't misconstrue what I say, but I think it's important that we have conversations like this. Maybe not right now. I've talked too much, but it's just what I'm feeling from what the president said yesterday.
I don't think that you're alone in your thoughts, Jeff, at all. I think a lot of people are afraid to even have conversations today in the fear that they will be canceled. And we do not want that because we can't grow from conversation. Right. Erica, was there anything that spoke to you last night, whether it was positive or negative, from the president's speech and his ploy or his hope to be reelected?
Sam, honestly, I'm so confused. Like, I'm really confused. How anyone in any capacity stands in front of the nation and describes what our current climate is and points the finger at someone else. I mean, if anything, in leadership in general, you have to be responsible for what is out there under your leadership. I mean, we're talking 175,000 at this point, American deaths from COVID. Our economy is in shambles. We have over 30 million Americans on unemployment. There is violence in the streets. There are police officers shooting unarmed people, and there are no ramifications for it. What is he describing if it's not what's happening right now? The only thing I can think of is when you point the finger, there are three more pointing right back at you. And I think that's all we're thinking. Where are the other three fingers?
Yeah, and Erica, to your point, because I want to bring in our viewers, somebody's echoing you right now. McDolly on Facebook says he blames someone that is not in office for his shortcoming, not voting for him. However, Sue Ann on Facebook says, I thought Trump's speech was good. I do believe he wants America to be a better place. Listen, I could go on and on and on with all your comments. You guys are divided. You guys are angry. You guys are frustrated on both sides of the aisle. If I could offer any sort of advice, get out and vote. Exercise your right to vote, but also make sure that we, as constituents, we all got to do our homework. We all have to fact check, but most importantly, use your voice and vote.
Can I put a fun button on this?
Yes.
He did say a woman is going to the moon. I did like that. That means we're going back to space.
I'm all about that. Yeah, that feels good.
All right. I just wanted to end there.
We need to always end on a good note. The president's family was there last night. His daughter Ivanka introduced her father as the people's president and even defended his tweeting. Take a look.
I recognize that my dad's communication style is not to everyone's taste, and I know that his tweets can feel a bit unfiltered. But the results speak for themselves.
But there was another moment that you all are talking about on social media, even writing into the show. Check out the exchange that took place with First Lady Melania Trump greeting her daughter-in-law on stage. She smiles and nods before making a series of interesting expressions. Speaking of which, there is a new book coming out that alleges all sorts of tensions between Melania and Ivanka. Erica, is it fair for people to wonder about the tensions between Melania and Ivanka? Should they care? And what do you make of her defending Trump's tweets?
Well, Sam, it's got to be a very precarious situation to be in to know that the only woman that your husband really wants is his daughter, and he can't have her because they're related. Not my words. Those were his words. Remember, he said if they weren't related, that he would date her. So it seems like there's a very weird dynamic happening in that whole relationship. I'd probably feel some type of way about that as well. In terms of Ivanka defending her, I was going to say husband, defending her father, that's par for the course, and that's what she does. And, she's really good at what she does, whether you agree or you disagree.
Got it. All right, moving on to the next story. We've heard a lot of stories of kids and young adults ignoring public health safety guidelines, but you've got to hear what happened. At a recent high school football game in Utah, a cheerleader decided to take a stand against some of the parents at her school, all because they had called for a No Mask Monday in protest over the school's mandatory mask policy. Take a look.
We of all people should know that wearing a mask is not hard. Neither is wearing a seatbelt or a life jacket or pads for football. But we do all these things so that we have a future. We want to have a senior year. We want to have homecoming and prom and graduation. So again, we ask that you put your mask on so that we can get our game on.
Wow, that takes a lot of courage, whether you support masks or don't support masks. It takes a lot of courage, Jeff, for a teenager to get out there and use her voice respectfully, I should say,
right,
to do what she believes in.
Yeah, and especially in the era, again, I'm going to just repeat what I said. I went on my 5-minute monologue. I apologize. But, about like social media, right? Yeah. It's like that girl is going to get hate for what she said, and all she's trying to do is make this world a better place. And, I can't believe where we're at in social media, and for a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, however old she is, to get a taste of that vitriol and the anger on social media, it bothers me, and that's why I talk about it. But again, you guys could write it. I'm coming from a place of privilege. Write whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm a big boy. Leave little girls alone. Oh,
Jeff, it pains me though, because
it's tough to have these conversations, Sam, and I'm not trying to spark a debate. I'm just saying I have feelings too, right? But no one wants to hear those feelings, and I know we're out of time. I feel like this is therapy. I feel better about myself.
Well, I know we're out of time, but I just have to say, Jeff, listen, I know you, and I know what a great guy you are, and you don't need any sticking up for, but you have honest conversations, and unfortunately, sometimes with all of us, they get plucked and people only focus on one part and not the whole context. And just know that you're as real and as empathetic as it gets.
I appreciate that, but we have bigger problems in this country that we need to resolve. So I definitely appreciate that. My problem is very small to what's going on in this country.
You're a human being too. Coming up on DBL, Dr. Payakoli joins us to talk about the latest on the coronavirus. It's Fact or Fiction Friday, everybody. Don't go away. Plus, can you imagine a presidential election without debates? What? Why Nancy Pelosi says Trump and Biden shouldn't face off at all before November. And again, we got to take a look at our nearly empty studio. That's because most of our employees, they're still home working during this pandemic. We made it through another week. We'll be right back.
Introducing the future.
DBL, keeping you and your family safe starts with staying informed. Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there these days, and knowing what's wrong or right can be tricky. That's putting it politely.
Yes.
That's why we bring on Dr. Payakoli. Welcome, Doc. Today is Fact or Fiction Friday. So, Doc, help us out by saying if these popular beliefs about COVID-19 are fact or fiction. So our first one says there's a new COVID-19 test approved by the FDA that takes 15 minutes, costs $5, and needs no equipment to run. What? Is this fact or fiction? I had no idea.
This is fact, and it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't. Yes. I am so excited about this test because it could be a potential game changer. So get this. You collect the sample, put it on a little credit card-sized test kit, add the reagents, no equipment needed, 15 minutes, you have an answer, and it costs $5 to run. So you can imagine this is very much like a home pregnancy test or, you know, some of the tests that would be available at the drugstore. And it could really change the way that we think about testing, really bring it into people's homes, bring it into their doctor's offices, and really overcome all those problems that we have with testing. Early on, we were worried about the accuracy of this test, but the most recent one that was just approved by the FDA, the Abbott test, has a 97% sensitivity. So that's awesome.
I'm going to go off script a little bit because you know how I feel about testing. I think it's so important. Why do we only order 150 million of these? That's the number I think I saw online. Why can't we order more? Is it production about these at-home testing?
It's a great question, Jeff. And Abbott, which is a big company, has really committed to producing a lot of these tests. So they're going to make 50 million tests every single month. And we may finally, with this test, get to the type of testing numbers that we need to get to. So they're just working on ramping it up. But I do think it's coming because this is going to change the way that we think about testing and make it accessible, as you said.
Totally on board. All right, is this fact or fiction, Doc? Everyone who catches the coronavirus spreads it to others. Is that fact or fiction?
This one is fiction. And what's really odd about this virus, unlike other viruses like the flu, is that everybody who catches it does not spread it to others. In fact, 10% of people are responsible for 80% of the spread. The problem here, however, you guys, is we don't know who those 10% are. So we have to assume that everyone is spreading the virus because we don't know who those super spreaders are. But it's very weird because it doesn't spread in a uniform fashion like other viruses like the flu.
Okay, so our next one says men are more likely to die from COVID-19 than women. Wow, is this fact or fiction?
This one is fact, unfortunately.
Wow.
And Jeff, you got to make sure that Al and Brandon hear this because multiple studies have shown that men just have a higher risk of dying. There's many possible scientific explanations, biological differences, immune system differences, different behaviors, and different medical problems. But unfortunately, this is a fact.
Women win again.
Is that because women bear children? Like biologically, do they have something in them that allows them to withstand more adversity, or not even adversity, but viruses? Because I'm just wondering, biologically, we are the ones that are carrying it.
Women live longer biologically, right?
Yeah, why is that?
It's a great question, Sam, and there is a difference in the immune response of women. So our first-line defenders, our innate immune system, is stronger because that's driven by estrogen. And one of the theories could be because women, have to protect their child as well because they're carrying children. The other interesting thing is that the receptor that this virus uses to get into cells is on the X chromosome, which women have 2 copies of and men only have 1.
Wow. Thank you, doctor. You will be back next week. So if you have a question about coronavirus you want answered, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you, doctor. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doesn't think there should be any debates for this presidential election. She said that Joe Biden shouldn't legitimize a conversation with President Trump and that he will belittle what the debates are all about. Pelosi also suggested an alternative. Take a look.
I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage. for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are we going to get it done?
DBL Nation, do you agree? Should there be a presidential debate? Before we get to some viewer comments, we want those of you watching right now to go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Let's begin here. I'm going to read the comments and then get Erica and Jeff's take. So Erica, the first comment goes to you. Dawn from Facebook says, of course Pelosi doesn't want Biden to debate Trump. She knows Biden is incompetent. What would you say, Erica?
I don't think that that's the reason why she doesn't want the debate. I think that really what it comes down to is you can't play basketball on a soccer field, and Biden is playing basketball, Trump's playing soccer. And what's been happening is a lot of people are moving fields, not understanding the rules to the game, but Donald Trump understands his game. The problem is the game isn't traditional politics, and we're dealing with a traditional politician. So I agree. I don't really see much for a debate unless we're looking for a WWE match.
Okay, here's the next comment. Jeff, Tammy from Twitter says, I want to see Biden call out Trump on his lies. Time to face the facts. What would you say to that, Jeff?
I think it depends what side you're on, right? If you're on the left side, you definitely want to see that. And I'm going to say if you're on the right side, you probably want to see if Biden is all there, because that's what everyone is saying. I'm sorry about this, but they are saying, I don't know if Biden's going to live through his 4 years, right? If he's all there and he's got everything going on, that's going to debunk that whole theory. So I'd like to see them go face to face.
I want to see them go face to face. I actually, you brought up the conversation earlier, Jeff, and I get it that some people feel like that they are dealing with, two different, that they won't have the conversation, so to speak. We have to have the conversation, even if we force it, even if we end up being disappointed. Otherwise, you eliminate any sort of reaching across the aisle, any sort of understanding. How do we really see their different policies and how they deal with those policies if we can't have them face to face? So I don't agree with Nancy Pelosi on this one. And let's look at our megaphone. 73% of you believe that there should be a presidential debate this year. Coming up on DBL, a trend that's all about empowering women. How two friends are showing size means nothing when it comes to sporting the latest fashion trends. Plus, Kris Jenner wants to trademark an iconic phrase from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Can you guess what it is? We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Murder, mystery, and justice. This weekend, tune into our two-night True Crime Chronicles marathon. We are giving you an inside look at some of the most infamous and mysterious true crime cases from across the country.
For the first time, you're hearing from the former fugitive crime boss.
Tune in tomorrow night when we go back and explore the stories you saw right here on DBL. These cases are so important because a lot of them are bringing these injustices to light, right? And we hope that justice is finally served.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to take from it, let alone it just brings you right to the TV and you want to know what happened. But talking to some of these people, it's amazing
It
stories.
is. I know. It absolutely is. In fact, go to our YouTube because you can watch all of the True Crime Chronicles there. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Sherry Shepherd looks back on her time at The View, why she says it's the most painful experience she's ever gone through. Plus, baby name drama. We'll tell you who's accusing Katy Perry of being unoriginal when it comes to her daughter's name, Daisy. We'll be right back.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies.
In her song Daisies from her album that just dropped today. I'm Sam here with Jeff. Erica joining us from home. Let's get started with a story about Katy Perry. So we know her daughter was born on Wednesday and that she and Orlando Bloom named her Daisy. But get this, an Australian radio DJ says Katy may have stolen the name from her. Katy met radio host Fifi Box while she was on a promotional tour down under. She also met Fifi's two children. The host says Katy was really fond of her youngest, Daisy. Watch.
It's funny, Feb. I just had a feeling because you were there, and we obviously recorded an interview for the radio. But then I thought when she released a song, I went,
Maybe
no,
not.
she wouldn't do a song and the baby. But we've got another Daisy.
Erica, would that bother you?
You know, Sam, it's so crazy because when I was on radio in Chicago at B96, I actually interviewed Katy Perry. And during that time, I remember saying the phrase, "You're going to hear me roar." And then lo and behold, years down the line, This is so silly. Daisy is like a super common name, and it's super cute. I can understand.
Erica Cobb responsible for Roar, everybody.
I
This
love
is
it.
crazy. You heard it here first. Jeff, what do you make of this? Would it bother? What would you feel if? Now, what if it was somebody close to you? What if? A year later, I have Miles, and I named Miles Layton. How would you feel about that?
I'd be flattered.
Really? We both have a Layton?
As long as you acknowledge it and fess up. Katy Perry's like, you know what? We were on the edge. Fifi, I did name my daughter because of that name. As long as you fess up to it, I think it's flattering. But for a radio DJ host, by the way, Erica, shout out to the Killer Bee, B96 in Chicago. But if I was if I was a radio host, I don't know if I'd take credit for that, Fifi. That's awfully bold of you.
Yeah, and I think, again, a more common name. They don't really know each other. Who cares? Be flattered by it. But I will say, if it's one of my close friends, I think that's a little weird.
Close friends, yeah, but I mean, where does everyone get their name from, right?
True.
You hear it like from someone's name in school, and you're like, oh, that's a good name. Let's think about that, right?
Yeah.
Whoa, Sam's jelly.
I mean, I'm
and
just
we're thinking
saying.
about having another, and Miles sounds good.
Are you really?
No, we're not. That was definitely a joke. I just wanted to use the Miles thing.
Hey, Miles is a more common name. So
or Sophie, either one. We're on the fence.
No, it's fine. Sherry Shepherd is opening up about her 7-year stint on The View. Speaking to People magazine, Sherry called her time on the show the most painful experience that she's ever gone through, but also said it was the best experience. Sherry said she cried in her dressing room for 3 years because Barbara Walters was so hard on her, but looking back, she says Barbara did it out of love. Ooh, Erica, did you ever have a boss who made you cry out of love? And given the fact that we all work on a panel show and we do how many hours a day of live television? I would say more than The View. There's definitely some tough times where you internalize and you may shed a tear in the dressing room.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think, especially when it's a female relationship, I do find those boss-employee relationships a little different. I worked for a woman for a few years, and she was very, very hard on me. But I did understand that when I left that company, there were so many tools that I received from her. She was never disrespectful. She just really thought that I should be performing to a higher standard, which made me want to perform to a higher standard myself.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm from a school of tough love, right? It's kind of my downfall. I'm a man. I was raised by, I had 2 older brothers. All my friends had brothers. So it's kind of my downfall. I'm all about tough love. Sometimes I don't really give the delicate aspects of life. I'm just like, go after it. If you want it, go get it. And I even have this problem with my wife. So I'm from a school of tough love. I played football. I had coaches that were tough on me. So I'm all for this, but I could see the dynamic. Now, if you're crying for 3 years in your dressing room,
something's wrong.
There's a little bit of a problem.
There's got to be some. Yeah. Listen, I'm all for tough love too. In fact, I tell Bert Dubrow, senior executive producer, coach me. I tell Chris, our EP, coach me. I need to be coached. But there is a way to do it where you're not completely destroying that person. There's a way to empower that person with giving them constructive criticism. I need it, but if it turns into abuse.
Yeah, see, I need it too. I'm like, just take all the sugar coat out, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and let's fix it.
Same. Okay, so the ultimate momager, Kris Jenner, is looking to trademark one of her iconic catchphrases. You might remember it from an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Watch.
Yeah. Kim, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
Push this me out.
That was Kris encouraging her daughter Kim during a Playboy shoot, by the way. Now, Kris has filed to officially trademark "You're doing amazing, sweetie." She plans to put the saying on products like clothing, greeting cards, cosmetics, and baby onesies. Erica, what do you think of this? And what's your catchphrase, girl? Erica?
This is strange, giving the context of how this phrase became so popular, but you know what? She capitalizes on things. She's really great at it, so I'm sure that this will be successful as well. I don't think I have a catchphrase that's really mine.
Yeah, you do.
Other than, like, when I'm talking about the comeback. Fry's my...
Do you hear that, Erica?
I think I was going to say it was more the comeback that you're willing to earn.
Everyone's deserving of the comeback that they're willing to earn.
That's Erica Cobb right there.
First of all, Erica has a book of quotes that
I
she could
know.
have a catchphrase from.
What about you?
Hold on, I'm
Big
going to stick
Jeff?
on Erica for a second.
Oh.
Her best catchphrase is her facial expressions.
Oh,
no
yeah.
words, just an Erica Cobb facial expression. You don't need any words.
My
It says
favorite
it
is
all.
when she says allegedly and she like points her eye. That's my favorite. Do you have a catchphrase?
I don't know. I want to say
Crush
Erica.
life.
When you say something, crush life. Definitely.
Crush
but when
life.
you say something to Erica Cobb's across the table, and she's like, you know, you're like, where in that
Yes.
sentence did I mess up?
Do
But
I
yeah,
have a
crush
catchphrase?
life.
I do have to
Yes.
tell you guys, though,
Yes.
this is important because in 1993, I was in the Miss Cities of America pageant, and I won best facial expressions out of all the contestants.
Makes sense. Makes sense, Erica.
That's
I'm not
perfect. What about
surprised.
your
What
crush
is
life?
mine?
I would
What's
say.
mine? I knew yours. I knew Erica's. Do I have one?
Try to think. Just say something. Spit something out there.
No.
Why?
Because you need to tell
Your
me.
catchphrase would be, here's what, okay, I'm gonna give you tough love.
Okay.
Your catchphrase wouldn't make sense because you always screw up like popular sayings.
Okay, I'll take it. So my catchphrase would take like a popular saying, like you can't, like you attract more bees with honey. That's
Right.
not really the phrase, but it would be my own tweak on it.
Yeah.
I'll dig it.
Yeah, like, there you go. We just made one up. You got it. Make the bumper sticker. I'll dig
Got it. I'll dig it. Leave me alone. Okay. Halle Berry is once again proving that age ain't nothing but a number. The 54-year-old actress looks amazing. In this topless photo she posted on Instagram, she captioned the post saying, "Self-love is never selfish." Erica, what do you make of the message?
You gotta love yourself if anybody else is gonna love you, so I don't see the problem.
Jeff?
2 words. I'll dig it.
3. Oh, I was going to say, never mind. Mine wasn't going to
No,
make
go,
sense.
go.
I was going to say 3 words, I'll dig it. Because it's 2 words.
Oh, it is 3 words.
Yeah, but I didn't want to correct
Wow.
you, make you feel bad. Like you always correct
Well, I was
me.
making fun of you. That was tough love. That was tough love.
That's true. That's
See,
true.
it went both ways.
Yes, it does. It does. Okay.
2 words.
You're thinking dig it.
I don't know
All
what I'm
right.
thinking. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness. So there are apparently 2 questions you should ask your spouse every week to keep your bond strong. According to an article in Pop Sugar, the author says she and her husband ask each other, "What would you like to be acknowledged for?" as a way to give each partner a chance to speak up. And also about any thankless and unnoticed work. She says they also ask each other, "What would you like me to know about your life?" as a way to invite each other into their own individual worlds. I love this. Jeff and Erica, is this cheesy that I love this? I want to implement it. What do you like it, Jeff? Do you and Jordan do anything similar to this?
I like it. We are on a show called Marriage Boot Camp that, people think is corny, but we actually use some of the tools
what do you do?
that they taught us. Our biggest thing in our relationship was communicating what's going on. So what the tools, because they're like, get out your toolbox, and it's super corny, and they're like, you have to communicate. I hear what you're saying, and then you continue
Love that.
from there.
Yeah, you feel acknowledged.
It sounds corny, but now when we say it, we kind of laugh and get to the core of the problem.
I think it's important. Erica, do you and Anthony have any sort of questions that you ask one another to stay in tune to each other?
I think that anytime something is like a little amiss, we'll turn to each other and be like, "Are we still friends?"
That's good.
So that's kind of our thing.
I literally want to do this. I want my husband and I, even though we're born on the same day, we are 2 completely different people. I'm overly communicative. He is underly, if that's even a word, communicative.
I was impressed.
And what was impressive?
Communicative.
And listen, my husband, I love him to pieces, but we need to have these types of questions and
So
conversations.
do you ever sit down and are honest?
We do, but it's not super carved out and super planned. And I want it to be carved out and planned, but maybe he doesn't. So that's where I'm going to have to take a couple steps back because I'm very type A and he's not.
Oh my
but
God.
I would love this. I want it to be like my Friday dinner thing, like over a margarita. I take joy in stuff like this, and he cringes and
just
things like
knowing
this.
both of you sitting down, be like, "Honey, we need to use our tools," and Mark just being like,
"Yeah."
I can see it. I can picture
He'll
it
go
right now.
inward. But maybe we'll try it tonight. It's Friday.
I'm telling you, it works. You got to
Yeah.
get through the uncomfortable to get comfortable.
I
Right?
like it. Is that your new catchphrase?
Maybe 2 words. I got to get comfortable to get comfortable.
Coming up on DBL, a TikTok trend that's taking off thanks to women promoting body positivity. You don't want to miss their inspiring message. Welcome back to DBL. Two best friends from New Jersey are proving style has no size limit, and they are going viral over their twinning fashion videos on TikTok. Earlier, Tori caught up with them in today's DBL Spotlight.
Body positivity. It's something best friends Denise Mercedes and Maria Castellanos are hoping to teach others. In January, Denise, who's a size 14, and Maria, who's a size 2, posted a photo of themselves wearing the same bathing suit on Instagram. The love they received from that photo inspired them to take it one step further, trying on a handful of identical outfits and posting their twinning video to TikTok. Today, that post has almost 35 million views, and the fashion videos haven't stopped. Only now they include the hashtag style, not size.
Denise and Maria in neutral. Welcome to DBL, looking fabulous. All right, your videos have millions of views. Why do you think your hashtag style, not size has resonated with so many women, including myself?
So I would definitely say that, you're giving the audience kind of an idea that you don't have to be a certain size to wear, a particular outfit. You could rock anything you want as long as you're confident and you don't care what people say.
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
I feel like that's literally why we call it style, not size. So it really is all about the fashion.
Yeah, you make it very clear. Style, not size. It couldn't be clearer. Denise, let's be honest. There are haters on social media. Haters everywhere, but especially on social media. So, to the critics who say that plus-size fashion shouldn't be the same fashion as what Maria wears, I want you to look in the camera and tell me, what would you say to them?
When it comes to social media, I like to wear things that they say plus-size women shouldn't wear.
Yes.
So, for example, if they say that plus-size women shouldn't wear crop tops, then I'm gonna wear a smaller crop top. And if they say that I shouldn't, as a plus-size girl, I shouldn't be wearing a bikini, well then I'm gonna wear a micro bikini because that's what makes me comfortable. And I love my body, and I want to be able to show it off.
I love it.
Are they daring? I love that.
I love that. Micro bikini are like my two scariest words, but like now you gave me some confidence right now, so I feel really good about that. Maria, if you had to say one thing that bugs you most about the fashion industry right now, what is it, and how are you hoping to change it? I know the fashion industry is evolving right now because of COVID. What do you kind of hope it goes towards?
I feel like for us, it's just getting everyone out there to realize that women don't come in like one standard size.
Yeah.
So we really just want them to see that they can make clothes for absolutely everyone.
Do you guys think this could have been possible when you were kids growing up? I know you're not older. You're not old like Dinosaur Tori, but...
Oh, we're so old.
Yeah, but do you know what I'm saying? Like when you were little, could you imagine seeing two women do this?
No.
Right.
No, it's tough because when I was 16 years old, I didn't see this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 28 now, but when I was 16 years old and I was like super insecure about my body, it was because I never saw stuff like this.
Yeah, and if I can add on to this, Denise, being the plus size model, influenced the standard body to be confident because I couldn't wear a bikini next to her. I was like, girl, you're the shining star right now. Like, I can't wear a bikini next to you. No. And she was like, Maria, you have a perfect body. You should be able to wear it and show it off. So
I have a perfect body.
Exactly. So we, she influenced me, and that's why I felt like Style Not Size worked so well because we could influence everyone, not just the plus size world.
Denise and Maria, thank you for giving a voice for those who didn't have one before. Thank you so much for joining DBL. For those of you wanting to follow these fabulous ladies, check them out on TikTok or Instagram. Thanks again, ladies. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Lori.
Welcome back to DBL. Research shows there's been a surge in road trips and pet adoptions this summer. So when it comes to traveling with your pets, what's the best way to do it? We're chatting about it on today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. First, prepare your pet for a long trip. Take them on shorter car rides leading up to the big one. The second tip, buckle up. Your pet should be safe and secured in a well-ventilated crate or carrier. And make sure it's big enough for your pet to stand, sit, and turn around in. If you prefer no crate, keep them in the back seat with a harness attached to the seatbelt. Lastly, prep a travel kit. That includes water, food, a bowl, plastic bags, and a first aid kit. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. Oh, we did this, Erica and Jeff. When we moved, if you remember, from LA to Denver, that means you got to move with all your fur babies too. So we moved with a dog, a newborn, and 4 cats. It was crazy time. We gave all of them like a anti-anxiety, and one of the cats, the brown one, did not react well to that like anti-anxiety, and like ended up like climbing its we had these big crates, ended up climbing on its crate and just did this. Like he was wired. Like, yeah, it was sad. It was poor, but he's okay. Everything's fine. But
I would have
yeah,
left him at the rest stop.
What? You sound like Chevy. No, that's like Chevy Chase. Erica, would you ever bring Spike on a road trip?
Well, we wouldn't have a choice if we were going on a road trip, but Spike is the worst in the car. We have to put him in the crate because he used to sit on Aunt Fran's, you know, Aunt Fran, we got him, she passed away, and he used to sit on her lap and look out the window, but our car isn't really built for that, so he just fights to get back in that spot, and it's just, yeah. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's also like, wow.
It's tough. Some animals they don't have it. Like Shorty didn't have it, Spike doesn't have it. Yeah.
Life. It's tough.
Good comment. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is
Welcome back to DBL. We've got a viral video to end the show. We all know that 2020, well, hasn't been easy, but you've got to see what happened when one groom joked about it at his wedding.
2020 has not been the best year.
On cue, Erica.
That was God saying things could be worse.
Right. He's acknowledging what a hellish year 2020 has been, E.
Yeah, you always got to pay attention to the signs because the signs will be there.
And Erica's really good at paying attention to signs. I've learned from her. Do you pay attention to the signs?
Remember that song? Signs, signs, everywhere signs. You remember that?
I know the song, but that's what they're saying?
Yeah, pay attention to the signs. It's called Signs, and I said signs 5 times.
I don't know if it's signs.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place Monday. Bye, Erica. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Daily Blast Live.
President Trump blasts Joe Biden on the final night of the Republican convention.
Biden's record is a shameful roll call.
What did you think of his speech, DBL Nation? And an odd exchange between Melania and Ivanka is caught on camera. What's really going on with those two? School in the time of coronavirus, as a group of high school athletes stand up to parents.
The ask that you keep in mind that by wearing your mask, you are supporting all of us athletes.
And Style, Not Size, the inspiring story of two women who started a body positivity movement on TikTok.
I love my body and I want to be able to show it off.
Love it.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. Eric Cobb will be joining us, but I have to toss it to her first, Jeff. I'm sorry.
You jumped the gun. I'm with you. I
know,
want to hear it too.
because what day is it, E?
It's Friday.
I've been waiting for this day all week. Are you ready for the weekend?
Always.
Anything
always.
fun in a pandemic?
No, family time, barbecues. That's fun for me, man. That's
redoing your home.
Yeah, I'm kind of caught up. There's always stuff to do, but, you know, relax. Relaxy taxi.
What?
Relaxy taxi.
Wow, did you just make that up?
No, it's from Friends, I think, right? Remember?
Relaxy taxi. I think you just pulled that one out of your bag of no
We
tricks.
started off so well, and it just went downhill.
At least we don't have any expectation for the rest of the show. That's what I'm aiming for. Okay, so very important day today because there is a march happening in D.C. It looks like several thousand people are gathering on the National Mall. They're all there for the March on Washington. It's to commemorate, of course, the 57th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington, where he spoke those famous words, "I have a dream." Now, meantime, last night was the president's time to shine at the RNC. He accepted his party's nomination with a 70-minute speech on the South Lawn of the White House in front of a packed crowd. Look at that. That's about 1,500 guests, most not wearing masks, and unsurprisingly, he took a ton of shots at Joe Biden. Watch.
We have spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years. Biden's record is a shameful roll call of the most catastrophic betrayals and blunders in our lifetime. He has spent his entire career on the wrong side of history.
And Biden responded on Twitter saying, remember, every example of violence Donald Trump decries has happened on his watch under his leadership during his presidency. Jeff, let me start with you. What did you think of the case that the president made for his reelection?
All right, Sam, it's tough to put all this into 3 minutes, but I'm going to try. You know what I mean? So I think if you're a diehard Republican, he spoke to you and showed you what a world's going to look like under Joe Biden, right? So in that case, and that case only, it was a success for the president, right? I want to start off by saying, because I've been very clear about this, with the whole mask wearing thing, I did not like that at all. It's not what America needs to see. We already divided on this subject. I mean, let's play out the scenario. Let's say we're all wearing masks for no reason. Then we all wore masks for a couple months and we're idiots. Let's play out your scenario. Everyone gets COVID and a lot more people die. So what scenario do you want to look at? I didn't like that at all. I do want to touch on something very quickly that he did talk about the president in his long speech that spoke to me. It rang a bell. It's about cancel culture in the era that we're in, right? To quote him, he used speech codes, soul-crushing conformity, and that spoke to me in a way that I know I'm a white male and people are like, I don't want to hear you cry, right? But if I don't conform to 100% of what the social mob says, I'm part of the problem. And that rang true to me, right? So I'm sure other people out there like me that feel the same way. I don't know how to talk about this without knowing that I'm going to get some sort of hate speech. I know there's bigger things in the world. Am I on board with Black Lives Matter? 100%. Am I on board about getting better cops in the system? 100%. So don't misconstrue what I say, but I think it's important that we have conversations like this. Maybe not right now. I've talked too much, but it's just what I'm feeling from what the president said yesterday. I
don't think that you're alone in your thoughts, Jeff, at all. I think a lot of people are afraid to even have conversations today in the fear that they will be canceled. And we do not want that because we can't grow from conversation. Right. Erica, was there anything that spoke to you last night, whether it was positive or negative, from the president's speech and his ploy or his hope to be reelected?
Sam, honestly, I'm so confused. Like, I'm really confused. How anyone in any capacity stands in front of the nation and describes what our current climate is and points the finger at someone else. I mean, if anything, in leadership in general, you have to be responsible for what is out there under your leadership. I mean, we're talking 175,000 at this point, American deaths from COVID. Our economy is in shambles. We have over 30 million Americans on unemployment. There is violence in the streets. There are police officers shooting unarmed people, and there are no ramifications for it. What is he describing if it's not what's happening right now? The only thing I can think of is when you point the finger, there are three more pointing right back at you. And I think that's all we're thinking. Where are the other three fingers?
Yeah, and Erica, to your point, because I want to bring in our viewers, somebody's echoing you right now. McDolly on Facebook says he blames someone that is not in office for his shortcoming, not voting for him. However, Sue Ann on Facebook says, I thought Trump's speech was good. I do believe he wants America to be a better place. Listen, I could go on and on and on with all your comments. You guys are divided. You guys are angry. You guys are frustrated on both sides of the aisle. If I could offer any sort of advice, get out and vote. Exercise your right to vote, but also make sure that we, as constituents, we all got to do our homework. We all have to fact check, but most importantly, use your voice and vote.
Can I put a fun button on this?
Yes.
He did say a woman is going to the moon. I did like that. That means we're going back to space.
I'm all about that. Yeah, that feels good.
All right. I just wanted to end there.
We need to always end on a good note. The president's family was there last night. His daughter Ivanka introduced her father as the people's president and even defended his tweeting. Take a look.
I recognize that my dad's communication style is not to everyone's taste, and I know that his tweets can feel a bit unfiltered. But the results speak for themselves.
But there was another moment that you all are talking about on social media, even writing into the show. Check out the exchange that took place with First Lady Melania Trump greeting her daughter-in-law on stage. She smiles and nods before making a series of interesting expressions. Speaking of which, there is a new book coming out that alleges all sorts of tensions between Melania and Ivanka. Erica, is it fair for people to wonder about the tensions between Melania and Ivanka? Should they care? And what do you make of her defending Trump's tweets?
Well, Sam, it's got to be a very precarious situation to be in to know that the only woman that your husband really wants is his daughter, and he can't have her because they're related. Not my words. Those were his words. Remember, he said if they weren't related, that he would date her. So it seems like there's a very weird dynamic happening in that whole relationship. I'd probably feel some type of way about that as well. In terms of Ivanka defending her, I was going to say husband, defending her father. That's par for the course, and that's what she does. And, she's really good at what she does, whether you agree or you disagree.
Got it. All right, moving on to the next story. We've heard a lot of stories of kids and young adults ignoring public health safety guidelines, but you've got to hear what happened. At a recent high school football game in Utah, a cheerleader decided to take a stand against some of the parents at her school, all because they had called for a No Mask Monday in protest over the school's mandatory mask policy. Take a look.
We of all people should know that wearing a mask is not hard. Neither is wearing a seatbelt or a life jacket or pads for football. But we do all these things so that we have a future. We want to have a senior year. We want to have homecoming and prom and graduation. So again, we ask that you put your mask on so that we can get our game on.
Wow, that takes a lot of courage, whether you support masks or don't support masks. It takes a lot of courage, Jeff, for a teenager to get out there and use her voice respectfully, I should say,
right,
to do what she believes in.
Yeah, and especially in the era, again, I'm going to just repeat what I said. I went on my 5-minute monologue. I apologize. But, about like social media, right?
Yeah.
It's like that girl is going to get hate for what she said, and all she's trying to do is make this world a better place. And, I can't believe where we're at in social media. And for a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, however old she is, to get a taste of that vitriol and the anger on social media, it bothers me, and that's why I talk about it. But again, you guys could write it. I'm coming from a place of privilege. Write whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm a big boy. Leave little girls alone.
Oh, Jeff, it pains me though, because
Well, it's tough to have these conversations, Sam, and I'm not trying to spark a debate. I'm just saying I have feelings too, right? But no one wants to hear those feelings, and I know we're out of time. I feel like this is therapy. I feel better about myself.
Well, I know we're out of time, but I just have to say, Jeff, listen, I know you, and I know what a great guy you are, and you don't need any sticking up for, but you have honest conversations, and unfortunately, sometimes with all of us, they get plucked and people only focus on one part and not the whole context. And just know that you're as real and as empathetic as it gets.
I appreciate that, but we have bigger problems in this country that we need to resolve. But I definitely appreciate that. My problem is very small to what's going on in this country.
You're a human being too. Coming up on DBL, Dr. Piacoli joins us to talk about the latest on the coronavirus. It's Fact or Fiction Friday, everybody. Don't go away. Plus, can you imagine a presidential election without debates? What? Why Nancy Pelosi says Trump and Biden shouldn't face off at all before November. And again, we got to take a look at our nearly empty studio. That's because most of our employees, they're still home working during this pandemic. We made it through another week. We'll be right back.
Introducing the future of fitness.
Your family safe starts with staying informed. Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there these days, and knowing what's wrong or right can be tricky. That's putting it politely.
Yes.
That's why we bring on Dr. Piacoli. Welcome, Doc. Today is Fact or Fiction Friday. So, Doc, help us out by saying if these popular beliefs about COVID-19 are fact or fiction. So our first one says there's a new COVID-19 test approved by the FDA that takes 15 minutes, costs $5, and needs no equipment to run. What? Is this fact or fiction? I had no idea.
This is fact, and it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't. Yes. I am so excited about this test because it could be a potential game changer. So get this. You collect the sample, put it on a little credit card-sized test kit, add the reagents, no equipment needed, 15 minutes, you have an answer, and it costs $5 to run. So you can imagine this is very much like a home pregnancy test or, you know, some of the tests that would be available at the drugstore. And it could really change the way that we think about testing, really bring it into people's homes, bring it into their doctor's offices, and really overcome all those problems that we have with testing. Early on, we were worried about the accuracy of this test, but the most recent one that was just approved by the FDA, the Abbott test, has a 97% sensitivity. So that's awesome.
I'm going to go off script a little bit because you know how I feel about testing. I think it's so important. Why do we only order 150 million of these? That's the number I think I saw online. Why can't we order more? Is it production about these at-home testing?
It's a great question, Jeff. And Abbott, which is a big company, has really committed to producing a lot of these tests. So they're going to make 50 million tests every single month. And we may finally, with this test, get to the type of testing numbers that we need to get to. So they're just working on ramping it up. But I do think it's coming because this is going to change the way that we think about testing and make it accessible, as you said.
Totally on board. All right, is this fact or fiction, Doc? Everyone who catches the coronavirus spreads it to others. Is that fact or fiction?
This one is fiction. And what's really odd about this virus, unlike other viruses like the flu, is that everybody who catches it does not spread it to others. In fact, 10% of people are responsible for 80% of the spread. The problem here, however, you guys, is we don't know who those 10% are. So we have to assume that everyone is spreading the virus because we don't know who those super spreaders are. But it's very weird because it doesn't spread in a uniform fashion like other viruses like the flu.
Okay, so our next one says men are more likely to die from COVID-19 than women. Wow, is this fact or fiction?
This one is fact, unfortunately.
Wow.
And Jeff, you got to make sure that Al and Brandon hear this because multiple studies have shown that men just have a higher risk of dying. There's many possible scientific explanations, biological differences, immune system differences, different behaviors, and different medical problems. But unfortunately, this is a fact.
Women win again.
Is that because women bear children? Like biologically, do they have something in them that allows them to withstand more adversity, or not even adversity, but viruses? Because I'm just wondering, biologically, we are the ones that are carrying it.
Women live longer biologically, right?
Yeah, why is that?
It's a great question, Sam, and there is a difference in the immune response of women. So our first-line defenders, our innate immune system, is stronger because that's driven by estrogen. And one of the theories could be because women, have to protect their child as well because they're carrying children. The other interesting thing is that the receptor that this virus uses to get into cells is on the X chromosome, which women have 2 copies of and men only have 1.
Wow. Thank you, doctor. You will be back next week. So if you have a question about coronavirus you want answered, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you, doctor. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doesn't think there should be any debates for this presidential election. She said that Joe Biden shouldn't legitimize a conversation with President Trump and that he will belittle what the debates are all about. Pelosi also suggested an alternative. Take a look.
I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage. for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are we going to get it done?
DBL Nation, do you agree? Should there be a presidential debate? Before we get to some viewer comments, we want those of you watching right now to go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Let's begin here. I'm going to read the comments and then get Erica and Jeff's take. So Erica, the first comment goes to you. Dawn from Facebook says, of course Pelosi doesn't want Biden to debate Trump. She knows Biden is incompetent. What would you say, Erica?
I don't think that that's the reason why she doesn't want the debate. I think that really what it comes down to is you can't play basketball on a soccer field, and Biden is playing basketball, Trump's playing soccer. And what's been happening is a lot of people are moving fields, not understanding the rules to the game, but Donald Trump understands his game. The problem is the game isn't traditional politics, and we're dealing with a traditional politician. So I agree. I don't really see much for a debate unless we're looking for a WWE match.
Okay, here's the next comment. Jeff Tammy from Twitter says, I want to see Biden call out Trump on his lies. Time to face the facts. What would you say to that, Jeff?
I think it depends what side you're on, right? If you're on the left side, you definitely want to see that. And I'm going to say if you're on the right side, you probably want to see if Biden is all there, because that's what everyone is saying. I'm sorry about this, but they are saying, I don't know if Biden's going to live through his 4 years, right? If he's all there and he's got everything going on, that's going to debunk that whole theory. So I'd like to see them go face to face.
I want to see them go face to face. I actually, you brought up the conversation earlier, Jeff, and I get it that some people feel like that they are dealing with, two different, that they won't have the conversation, so to speak. We have to have the conversation, even if we force it, even if we end up being disappointed. Otherwise, you eliminate any sort of reaching across the aisle, any sort of understanding. How do we really see their different policies and how they deal with those policies if we can't have them face to face? So I don't agree with Nancy Pelosi on this one. And let's look at our megaphone. 73% of you believe that there should be a presidential debate this year. Coming up on DBL, a trend that's all about empowering women. How two friends are showing size means nothing when it comes to sporting the latest fashion trends. Plus, Kris Jenner wants to trademark an iconic phrase from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Can you guess what it is? We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Murder, mystery, and justice this weekend. Tune into our two-night True Crime Chronicles marathon. We are giving you an inside look at some of the most infamous and mysterious true crime cases from across the country.
For the first time, you're hearing from the former fugitive crime boss.
Tune in tomorrow night when we go back and explore the stories you saw right here on DBL. These cases are so important because a lot of them are bringing these injustices to light, right? And we hope that justice is finally served.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to take from it, let alone it just brings you right to the TV and you want to know what happened. But talking to some of these people, it's amazing.
It
stories.
is. I know. It absolutely is. In fact, go to our YouTube because you can watch all of the True Crime Chronicles there. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Sherry Shepherd looks back on her time at The View, why she says it's the most painful experience she's ever gone through. Plus, baby name drama. We'll tell you who's accusing Katy Perry of being unoriginal when it comes to her daughter's name, Daisy. We'll be right back.
Talking about real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Katy Perry and her song Daisies from her album that just dropped today. I'm Sam here with Jeff. Erica joining us from home. Let's get started with a story about Katy Perry. So we know her daughter was born on Wednesday and that she and Orlando Bloom named her Daisy. But get this, an Australian radio DJ says Katy may have stolen the name from her. Katy met radio host Fifi Box while she was on a promotional tour down under. She also met Fifi's two children. The host says Katy was really fond of her youngest, Daisy. Watch.
It's funny, Fev. I just had a feeling because you were there, and we obviously recorded an interview for the radio. But then I thought when she released a song, I went, no, she wouldn't do a song and the baby, but we've got another Daisy.
Erica, would that bother you?
You know, Sam, it's so crazy because when I was on radio in Chicago at B96, I actually interviewed Katy Perry. And during that time, I remember saying the phrase, "You're going to hear me roar." And then lo and behold, years down the line, This is so silly. Daisy is like a super common name, and it's super cute. I can understand.
Erica Cobb responsible for Roar, everybody.
I love it.
This is crazy. You heard it here first. Jeff, what do you make of this? Would it bother? What would you feel if, now, what if it was somebody close to you? What if, you know, a year later, I have Miles, and I named Miles Layton? How would you feel about that?
I'd be flattered.
Really? We both have a Layton?
As long as you acknowledge it and fess up. If Katy Perry's like, you know what, we were on the edge. Fifi, I did name my daughter because of that name. As long as you fess up to it, I think it's flattering. But for a radio DJ host, by the way, Erica, shout out to the Killer B, B96 in Chicago. But if I was if I was a radio host, I don't know if I'd take credit for that, Fifi. That's awfully bold of you.
Yeah, and I think, again, a more common name, they don't really know each other. Who cares? Be flattered by it. But I will say, if it's one of my close friends, I think that's a little weird.
Close friends, yeah, but I mean, where does everyone get their name from, right?
True.
You hear it like from someone's name in school, and you're like, oh, that's a good name. Let's think about that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam's jelly.
I mean, I'm
and
just
we're thinking
saying.
about having another, and Miles sounds good.
Are you really?
No, we're not. That was definitely a joke. I just wanted to use the Miles thing.
Hey, Miles is a more common name. So
or Sophie, either one. We're on the fence.
No, it's fine. Sherry Shepherd is opening up about her 7-year stint on The View. Speaking to People magazine, Sherry called her time on the show the most painful experience that she's ever gone through, but also said it was the best experience. Sherry said she cried in her dressing room for 3 years because Barbara Walters was so hard on her, but looking back, she says Barbara did it out of love. Ooh, Erica, did you ever have a boss who made you cry out of love? And given the fact that we all work on a panel show and we do how many hours a day of live television? I would say more than The View. There's definitely some tough times where you internalize and you may shed a tear in the dressing room.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think, you know, especially when it's a female relationship, I do find those boss-employee relationships a little different. I worked for a woman for a few years, and she was very, very hard on me. But I did understand that when I left that company, there were so many tools that I received from her. She was never disrespectful. She just really thought that I should be performing to a higher standard, which made me want to perform to a higher standard myself.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm from a school of tough love, right? It's kind of my downfall. I'm a man. I was raised by, you know, I had 2 older brothers. All my friends had brothers. So it's kind of my downfall. I'm all about tough love. Sometimes I don't really give the delicate aspects of life. I'm just like, go after it. If you want it, go get it. And I even have this problem with my wife. So I'm from the school of tough love. I played football. I had coaches that were tough on me. So I'm all for this, but I could see the dynamic. Now, if you're crying for 3 years in your dressing room,
something's wrong.
There's a little bit of a problem.
There's got to be some, yeah. Listen, I'm all for tough love too. In fact, I tell Bert Dubrow, senior executive producer, coach me. I tell Chris, our EP, coach me. I need to be coached. But there is a way to do it where you're not completely destroying that person. There's a way to empower that person with giving them constructive criticism. I need it, but if it turns into abuse,
yeah, see, I need it too. I'm like, just take all the sugarcoat out, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and let's fix it.
Same. Okay, so the ultimate momager, Kris Jenner, is looking to trademark one of her iconic catchphrases. You might remember it from an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Watch.
Kim, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
Push this me out.
That was Kris encouraging her daughter Kim during a Playboy shoot, by the way. Now, Kris has filed to officially trademark "You're doing amazing, sweetie." She plans to put the saying on products like clothing, greeting cards, cosmetics, and baby onesies. Erica, what do you think of this? And what's your catchphrase, girl? Erica?
This is strange, giving the context of how this phrase became so popular, but you know what? She capitalizes on things. She's really great at it, so I'm sure that this will be successful as well. I don't think I have a catchphrase that's really mine.
Yeah, you do.
Other than, like, when I'm talking about the comeback. Friday's my...
Do you hear that, Erica?
I think I was going to say it was more the comeback that you're willing to earn.
Everyone's deserving of the comeback that they're willing to earn.
That's Erica Cobb right there.
First of all, Erica has a book of quotes that
I
she could
know.
have a catchphrase from.
What about you?
Hold on, I'm
Big
going to stick
Jeff?
on Erica for a second.
Oh.
Her best catchphrase is her facial expressions.
Oh,
no
yeah.
words, just an Erica Cobb facial expression. You don't need any words.
My
It says
favorite
it
is
all.
when she says allegedly and she like points her eye. That's my favorite. Do you have a catchphrase?
I don't know. I want to stay
Crush
Erica.
life.
When you say something, crush life. Definitely.
Crush
but when
life.
you say something to Erica Cobb's across the table and she's like, you know, you're like, where in that
Yes.
sentence did I mess up?
Do
But
I
yeah,
have a
crush
catchphrase?
life.
I do have to
Yes.
tell you guys, though,
Yes.
this is important because in 1993, I was in the Miss Cities of America pageant, and I won best facial expressions out of all the contestants.
Makes sense. Makes sense, Erica.
That's
I'm not
perfect. What about
surprised.
your
What
crush
is
life?
mine?
I would
What's
say.
mine? I knew yours. I knew Erica's. Do I have one?
Try to think. Just say something. Spit something out there.
No.
Why?
Because you need to tell
Your
me.
catchphrase would be, here's what, okay, I'm gonna give you tough love.
Okay.
Your catchphrase wouldn't make sense because you always screw up like popular sayings.
Okay, I'll take it. So my catchphrase would take like a popular saying, like you can't, like you attract more bees with honey. That's
Right.
not really the phrase, but it would be my own tweak on it.
Yeah.
I'll dig it.
Yeah, like, there you go. We just made one up. You got it. Make the bumper sticker, I'll dig
Got it. I'll dig it. Leave me alone. Okay. Halle Berry is once again proving that age ain't nothing but a number. The 54-year-old actress looks amazing. In this topless photo she posted on Instagram, she captioned the post saying, "Self-love is never selfish." Erica, what do you make of the message?
You gotta love yourself if anybody else is gonna love you, so I don't see the problem.
Jeff?
2 words, I'll dig it.
3. Oh, I was going to say, never mind. Mine wasn't going to make sense.
Go.
I was going to say 3 words, I'll dig it. Because it's 2 words.
Oh, it is 3 words.
Yeah, but I didn't want to correct you and make you feel bad. Like you always correct
Well, I was
me.
making fun of you. That was tough love. That was tough love.
That's true. That's
See,
true.
it went both ways.
Yes, it does. It does. Okay.
2 words.
You're thinking dig it.
I don't know
All
what I'm
right.
thinking. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness. So there are apparently 2 questions you should ask your spouse every week to keep your bond strong. According to an article in Pop Sugar, the author says she and her husband ask each other, what would you like to be acknowledged for, as a way to give each partner a chance to speak up. And also about any thankless and unnoticed work. She says they also ask each other, what would you like me to know about your life, as a way to invite each other into their own individual worlds. I love this. Jeff and Erica, is this cheesy that I love this? I want to implement it. What do you like it, Jeff? Do you and Jordan do anything similar to this?
I like it. We are on a show called Marriage Boot Camp that, people think is corny, but we actually use some of the tools
what do you do?
that they taught us. Our biggest thing in our relationship was communicating what's going on. So what the tools, because they're like, get out your toolbox, and it's super corny, and they're like, you have to communicate. I hear what you're saying, and then you continue
Love that.
from there.
Yeah, you feel acknowledged.
It sounds corny, but now when we say it, we kind of laugh and get to the core of the problem.
I think it's important. Erica, do you and Anthony have any sort of questions that you ask one another to stay in tune to each other?
I think that anytime something is like a little amiss, we'll turn to each other and be like, are we still friends?
That's good.
So that's kind of our thing.
I literally want to do this. I want my husband and I, even though we're born on the same day, we are 2 completely different people. I'm overly communicative. He is underly, if that's even a word, communicative.
I was impressed.
And what was impressive?
Communicative.
And listen, my husband, I love him to pieces, but we need to have these types of questions and conversations.
So do you ever sit down and are honest?
We do, but it's not super carved out and super planned. And I want it to be carved out and planned, but maybe he doesn't. So that's where I'm going to have to take a couple steps back, because I'm very type A and he's not.
Oh my God.
But I would love this. I want it to be like my Friday dinner thing, like over a margarita. I take joy in stuff like this, and he cringes and
just
things like
knowing
this.
both of you sitting down, be like, honey, we need to use our tools, and Mark just being like,
yeah.
I can see it. I can picture
He'll go
it right
inward. But maybe we'll try it tonight. It's Friday.
I'm telling you, it works. You got to get through the uncomfortable to get comfortable. Right?
I like it. Is that your new catchphrase?
Maybe. 2 words. I got to get comfortable to get comfortable.
Coming up on DBL, a TikTok trend that's taking off thanks to 2 women promoting body positivity. You don't want to miss their inspiring message.
This is a tale of two.
Proving style has no size limit, and they are going viral over their twinning fashion videos on TikTok. Earlier, Tori caught up with them in today's DBL Spotlight.
Body positivity. It's something best friends Denise Mercedes and Maria Castellanos are hoping to teach others. In January, Denise, who's a size 14, and Maria, who's a size 2, posted a photo of themselves wearing the same bathing suit on Instagram. The love they received from that photo inspired them to take it one step further, trying on a handful of identical outfits and posting their twinning video to TikTok. Today, that post has almost 35 million views, and the fashion videos haven't stopped. Only now they include the hashtag style, not size.
Denise and Maria in neutral. Welcome to DBL, looking fabulous. All right, your videos have millions of views. Why do you think your hashtag style, not size has resonated with so many women, including myself?
So I would definitely say that, you're giving the audience kind of an idea that you don't have to be a certain size to wear, a particular outfit. You could rock anything you want as long as you're confident and you don't care what people say.
Yeah.
So I think that's
I feel like that's literally why we call it style, not size. So it really is all about the fashion.
Yeah, you make it very clear. Style. It couldn't be clearer. Denise, let's be honest. There are haters on social media. Haters everywhere, but especially on social media. So, to the critics who say that plus-size fashion shouldn't be the same fashion as what Maria wears, I want you to look in the camera and tell me, what would you say to them?
When it comes to social media, I like to wear things that they say plus-size women shouldn't wear.
Yes.
So, for example, if they say that plus-size women shouldn't wear crop tops, then I'm gonna wear a smaller crop top. And if they say that I shouldn't, as a plus-size girl, I shouldn't be wearing a bikini, well then I'm gonna wear a micro bikini because that's what makes me comfortable. And I love my body, and I want to be able to show it off.
I love it.
Are they daring? I love that.
I love that. Micro bikini are like my two scariest words, but like now you gave me some confidence right now, so I feel really good about that. Maria, if you had to say one thing that bugs you most about the fashion industry right now, what is it and how are you hoping to change it? I know the fashion industry is evolving right now because of COVID. What do you kind of hope it goes towards?
I feel like for us, it's just getting everyone out there to realize that women don't come in like one standard size.
Yeah.
So we really just want them to see that they can make clothes for absolutely everyone.
Do you guys think this could have been possible when you were kids growing up? I know you're not older. You're not old like Dinosaur Tori, but...
Oh, we're so old.
Yeah, but do you know what I'm saying? Like when you were little, could you imagine seeing two women do this?
No.
No.
Right.
No, it's tough because when I was 16 years old, I didn't see this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 28. I'm 28 now, but when I was 16 years old and I was like super insecure about my body, it was because I never saw stuff like this.
Yeah, and if I can add on to this, Denise, being the plus size model, influenced the standard like body to be confident because I couldn't wear a bikini next to her. Like I was like, girl, you're the shining star right now. Like I can't wear a bikini next to you. No. And she was like, Maria, like you have a perfect body. Like you should be able to wear it and show it off. So
we all have a perfect body.
Exactly. So we, she influenced me, and that's why I felt like Style Not Size worked so well because we could influence everyone, not just the plus size world.
Denise and Maria, thank you for giving a voice for those who didn't have one before. Thank you so much for joining DBL. For those of you wanting to follow these fabulous ladies, check them out on TikTok or Instagram. Thanks again, ladies. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm
Welcome back to DBL. Research shows there's been a surge in road trips and pet adoptions this summer. So when it comes to traveling with your pets, what's the best way to do it? We're chatting about it on today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. First, prepare your pet for a long trip. Take them on shorter car rides leading up to the big one. The second tip, buckle up. Your pet should be safe and secured in a well-ventilated crate or carrier. And make sure it's big enough for your pet to stand, sit, and turn around in. If you prefer no crate, keep them in the back seat with a harness attached to the seatbelt. Lastly, prep a travel kit. That includes water, food, a bowl, plastic bags, and a first aid kit. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. Oh, we did this, Erica and Jeff. When we moved, if you remember, from LA to Denver, that means you gotta move with all your fur babies too. So we moved with a dog, a newborn, and 4 cats. It was crazy time. We gave all of them like a anti-anxiety, and one of the cats, the brown one, did not react well to that like anti-anxiety, and like ended up like climbing its we had these big crates, ended up climbing on its crate and just did this. Like he was wired. Like, yeah, it was sad. It was poor, but he's okay. Everything's fine. But
I would have
yeah,
left him at the rest stop.
What? You sound like Chevy. No, that's like Chevy Chase. Erica, would you ever bring Spike on a road trip?
Well, we wouldn't have a choice if we were going on a road trip, but Spike is the worst in the car. We have to put him in the crate because he used to sit on Aunt Fran's, you know, Aunt Fran, we got him, she passed away, and he used to sit on her lap and look out the window, but our car isn't really built for that, so he just fights to get back in that spot, and it's just, yeah. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's also like, wow.
It's tough. Some animals they don't have it. Like Shorty didn't have it, Spike doesn't have it. Yeah.
Life. It's tough.
Good comment. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Welcome back to DBL. We've got a viral video to end the show. We all know that 2020, well, hasn't been easy, but you've got to see what happened when one groom joked about it at his wedding.
2020 has not been the best year.
On cue, Erica.
That was God saying things could be worse.
Right. He's acknowledging what a hellish year 2020 has been, E.
Yeah, you always got to pay attention to the signs because the signs will be there.
And Erica's really good at paying attention to signs. I've learned from her. Do you pay attention to the signs?
Remember that song? Signs, signs everywhere, signs. You remember that?
I know the song, but that's what they're saying?
Yeah, pay attention to the signs. It's called Signs, and I said signs 5 times.
I don't know if it's signs.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place Monday. Bye, Erica. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
President Trump blasts Joe Biden on the final night of the Republican convention.
Biden's record is a shameful roll call.
What did you think of his speech, DBL Nation? And an odd exchange between Melania and Ivanka is caught on camera. What's really going on with those two? School in the time of coronavirus, as a group of high school athletes stand up to parents.
But ask that you keep in mind that by wearing your mask, you are supporting all of us athletes.
And Style, Not Size, the inspiring story of two women who started a body positivity movement on TikTok.
I love my body and I want to be able to show it off.
Love it.
Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Thank you, Chris. Welcome to DBL. Eric Cobb will be joining us, but I have to toss it to her first, Jeff. I'm sorry.
You jumped the gun. I'm with you. I
know,
want to hear it too.
because what day is it, E?
It's Friday.
I've been waiting for this day all week. Are you ready for the weekend?
Always.
Anything
always.
fun in a pandemic?
No, family time, barbecues. That's fun for me, man.
That's redoing your home.
Yeah, I'm kind of caught up. There's always stuff to do, but you know, relaxy taxi.
What?
Relaxy taxi.
Wow, did you just make that up?
No, it's from Friends, I think, right? Remember?
Relaxy taxi. I think you just pulled that one out of your bag of no
We
tricks.
started off so well, and it just went downhill.
At least we don't have any expectation for the rest of the show. That's what I'm aiming for. Okay, so very important day today because there is a march happening in D.C. It looks like several thousand people are gathering on the National Mall. They're all there for the March on Washington. It's to commemorate, of course, the 57th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington, where he spoke those famous words, "I have a dream." Now, meantime, last night was the president's time to shine at the RNC. He accepted his party's nomination with a 70-minute speech on the South Lawn of the White House in front of a packed crowd. Look at that. That's about 1,500 guests, most not wearing masks, and unsurprisingly, he took a ton of shots at Joe Biden. Watch.
We have spent the last 4 years reversing the damage Joe Biden inflicted over the last 47 years. Biden's record is a shameful roll call of the most catastrophic betrayals and blunders in our lifetime. He has spent his entire career on the wrong side of history.
And Biden responded on Twitter saying, "Remember, every example of violence Donald Trump decries has happened on his watch under his leadership during his presidency." Jeff, let me start with you. What did you think of the case that the president made for his reelection?
All right, Sam, it's tough to put all this into 3 minutes, but I'm going to try. You know what I mean? So I think if you're a diehard Republican, he spoke to you and showed you what a world's going to look like under Joe Biden, right? So in that case, and that case only, it was a success for the president, right? I want to start off by saying, because I've been very clear about this, with the whole mask wearing thing, I did not like that at all. It's not what America needs to see. We already divided on this subject. I mean, let's play out the scenario. Let's say we're all wearing masks for no reason. Then we all wore masks for a couple months and we're idiots. Let's play out your scenario. Everyone gets COVID and a lot more people die. So what scenario do you want to look at? I didn't like that at all. I do want to touch on something very quickly that he did talk about the president in his long speech that spoke to me. It rang a bell. It's about cancel culture in the era that we're in, right? To quote him, he used speech codes, soul-crushing conformity, and that spoke to me in a way that I know I'm a white male and people are like, I don't want to hear you cry, right? But if I don't conform to 100% of what the social mob says, I'm part of the problem. And that rang true to me, right? So I'm sure other people out there like me that feel the same way. I don't know how to talk about this without knowing that I'm going to get some sort of hate speech. I know there's bigger things in the world. Am I on board with Black Lives Matter? 100%. Am I on board about getting better cops in the system? 100%. So don't misconstrue what I say, but I think it's important that we have conversations like this. Maybe not right now. I've talked too much, but it's just what I'm feeling from what the president said yesterday.
I don't think that you're alone in your thoughts, Jeff, at all. I think a lot of people are afraid to even have conversations today in the fear that they will be canceled. And we do not want that because we can't grow from conversation. Right. Erica, was there anything that spoke to you last night, whether it was positive or negative, from the president's speech and his ploy or his hope to be reelected?
Sam, honestly, I'm so confused. Like, I'm really confused. How anyone in any capacity stands in front of the nation and describes what our current climate is and points the finger at someone else. I mean, if anything, in leadership in general, you have to be responsible for what is out there under your leadership. I mean, we're talking 175,000 at this point, American deaths from COVID. Our economy is in shambles. We have over 30 million Americans on unemployment. There is violence in the streets. There are police officers shooting unarmed people, and there are no ramifications for it. What is he describing if it's not what's happening right now? The only thing I can think of is when you point the finger, there are 3 more pointing right back at you. And I think that's all we're thinking. Where are the other 3 fingers?
Yeah, and Erica, to your point, because I want to bring in our viewers, somebody's echoing you right now. McDolly on Facebook says he blames someone that is not in office for his shortcoming, not voting for him. However, Sue-Ann on Facebook says, I thought Trump's speech was good. I do believe he wants America to be a better place. Listen, I could go on and on and on with all your comments. You guys are divided. You guys are angry. You guys are frustrated on both sides of the aisle. If I could offer any sort of advice, get out and vote. Exercise your right to vote, but also make sure that we, as constituents, we all got to do our homework. We all have to fact check, but most importantly, use your voice and vote.
Can I put a fun button on this?
Yes.
He did say a woman is going to the moon. I did like that. That means we're going back to space.
I'm all about that. Yeah, that feels good.
All right. I just wanted to end there.
We need to always end on a good note. The president's family was there last night. His daughter Ivanka introduced her father as the people's president and even defended his tweeting. Take a look.
I recognize that my dad's communication style is not to everyone's taste, and I know that his tweets can feel a bit unfiltered, but the results speak for themselves.
But there was another moment that you all are talking about on social media, even writing into the show. Check out the exchange that took place with First Lady Melania Trump greeting her daughter-in-law on stage. She smiles and nods before making a series of interesting expressions. Speaking of which, there is a new book coming out that alleges all sorts of tensions between Melania and Ivanka. Erica, is it fair for people to wonder about the tensions between Melania and Ivanka? Should they care? And what do you make of her defending Trump's tweets?
Well, Sam, it's got to be a very precarious situation to be in to know that the only woman that your husband really wants is his daughter, and he can't have her because they're related. Not my words. Those were his words. Remember, he said if they weren't related, that he would date her. So it seems like there's a very weird dynamic happening in that whole relationship. I'd probably feel some type of way about that as well. In terms of Ivanka defending her, I was going to say husband, defending her father, that's par for the course, and that's what she does. And, she's really good at what she does, whether you agree or you disagree.
Got it. All right, moving on to the next story. We've heard a lot of stories of kids and young adults ignoring public health safety guidelines, but you've got to hear what happened. At a recent high school football game in Utah, a cheerleader decided to take a stand against some of the parents at her school, all because they had called for a No Mask Monday in protest over the school's mandatory mask policy. Take a look.
We of all people should know that wearing a mask is not hard. Neither is wearing a seatbelt or a life jacket or pads for football. But we do all these things so that we have a future. We want to have a senior year. We want to have homecoming and prom and graduation. So again, we ask that you put your mask on so that we can get our game on.
Wow, that takes a lot of courage, whether you support masks or don't support masks. It takes a lot of courage, Jeff, for a teenager to get out there and use her voice respectfully, I should say,
right,
to do what she believes in.
Yeah, and especially in the era, again, I'm going to just repeat what I said. I went on my 5-minute monologue. I apologize. But, about like social media, right?
Yeah.
It's like that girl is going to get hate for what she said, and all she's trying to do is make this world a better place. And, I can't believe where we're at in social media, and for a 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 18-year-old, however old she is, to get a taste of that vitriol and the anger on social media, it bothers me, and that's why I talk about it. But again, you guys could write it. I'm coming from a place of privilege. Write whatever you want. You know what I mean? I'm a big boy. Leave little girls alone.
Oh, Jeff, it pains me though, because
Well, it's tough to have these conversations, Sam, and I'm not trying to spark a debate. I'm just saying I have feelings too, right? But no one wants to hear those feelings, and I know we're out of time. I feel like this is therapy. I feel better about myself.
Well, I know we're out of time, but I just have to say, Jeff, listen, I know you, and I know what a great guy you are, and you don't need any sticking up for, but you have honest conversations, and unfortunately, sometimes with all of us, they get plucked and people only focus on one part and not the whole context. And just know that you're as real and as empathetic as it gets.
I appreciate that, but we have bigger problems in this country that we need to resolve. So I definitely appreciate that. My problem is very small to what's going on in this country.
You're a human being too. Coming up on DBL, Dr. Piacoli joins us to talk about the latest on the coronavirus. It's Fact or Fiction Friday, everybody. Don't go away. Plus, can you imagine a presidential election without debate? What? Why Nancy Pelosi says Trump and Biden shouldn't face off at all before November. And again, we got to take a look at our nearly empty studio. That's because most of our employees, they're still home working During this pandemic, we made it through another week. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. Keeping you and your family safe starts with staying informed. Well, unfortunately, there is a lot of misinformation out there these days, and knowing what's wrong or right can be tricky. That's putting it politely.
Yes.
That's why we bring on Dr. Payal Kohli. Welcome, Doc. Today is Fact or Fiction Friday. So, Doc, help us out by saying if these popular beliefs about COVID-19 are fact or fiction. So our first one says there's a new COVID-19 test approved by the FDA that takes 15 minutes, costs $5, and needs no equipment to run. What? Is this fact or fiction? I had no idea.
This is fact, and it sounds too good to be true, but it isn't. Yes. I am so excited about this test because it could be a potential game changer. So get this. You collect the sample, put it on a little credit card-sized test kit, add the reagents, no equipment needed, 15 minutes, you have an answer, and it costs $5 to run. So you can imagine this is very much like a home pregnancy test or, some of the tests that would be available at the drugstore. And it could really change the way that we think about testing, really bring it into people's homes, bring it into their doctor's offices, and really overcome all those problems that we have with testing. Early on, we were worried about the accuracy of this test, but the most recent one that was just approved by the FDA, the Abbott test, has a 97% sensitivity. So that's awesome.
I'm going to go off script a little bit because you know how I feel about testing. I think it's so important. Why do we only order 150 million of these? That's the number I think I saw online. Why can't we order more? Is it production about these at-home testing?
It's a great question, Jeff. And Abbott, which is a big company, has really committed to producing a lot of these tests. So they're going to make 50 million tests every single month. And we may finally, with this test, get to the type of testing numbers that we need to get to. So they're just working on ramping it up. But I do think it's coming because this is going to change the way that we think about testing and make it accessible, as you said.
Totally on board. All right. Is this fact or fiction, Doc? Everyone who catches the coronavirus spreads it to others. Is that fact or fiction?
This one is fiction. And what's really odd about this virus, unlike other viruses like the flu, is that everybody who catches it does not spread it to others. In fact, 10% of people are responsible for 80% of the spread. The problem here, however, you guys, is we don't know who those 10% are. So we have to assume that everyone is spreading the virus because we don't know who those super spreaders are. But it's very weird because it doesn't spread in a uniform fashion like other viruses like the flu.
Okay, so our next one says men are more likely to die from COVID-19 than women. Wow, is this fact or fiction?
This one is fact, unfortunately.
Wow.
And Jeff, you got to make sure that Al and Brandon hear this because multiple studies have shown that men just have a higher risk of dying. There's many possible scientific explanations, biological differences, immune system differences, different behaviors, and different medical problems. But unfortunately, this is a fact.
Women win again.
Is that because women bear children? Like biologically, do they have something in them that allows them to withstand more adversity, or not even adversity, but viruses? Because I'm just wondering, biologically, we are the ones that are carrying
Women live longer biologically, right?
Yeah, why is that?
It's a great question, Sam, and there is a difference in the immune response of women. So our first-line defenders, our innate immune system, is stronger because that's driven by estrogen. And one of the theories could be because women, have to protect their child as well because they're carrying children. The other interesting thing is that the receptor that this virus uses to get into cells is on the X chromosome, which women have 2 copies of and men only have 1.
Wow. Thank you, doctor. You will be back next week. So if you have a question about coronavirus you want answered, write us on social media. You can also email info@dailyblastlive.com. Thank you, doctor. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi doesn't think there should be any debates for this presidential election. She said that Joe Biden shouldn't legitimize a conversation with President Trump and that he will belittle what the debates are all about. Pelosi also suggested an alternative. Take a look.
I don't think that he should dignify that conversation with Donald Trump. You ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are you going to get it done?
DBL Nation, do you agree? Should there be a presidential debate? Before we get to some viewer comments, we want those of you watching right now to go to dblvote.com to weigh in. Let's begin here. I'm going to read the comments and then get Erica and Jeff's take. So Erica, the first comment goes to you. Dawn from Facebook says, of course Pelosi doesn't want Biden to debate Trump. She knows Biden is incompetent. What would you say, Erica?
I don't think that that's the reason why she doesn't want the debate. I think that really what it comes down to is you can't play basketball on a soccer field, and Biden is playing basketball, Trump's playing soccer. And what's been happening is a lot of people are moving fields, not understanding the rules to the game, but Donald Trump understands his game. The problem is the game isn't traditional politics, and we're dealing with a traditional politician. So I agree. I don't really see much for a debate unless we're looking for a WWE match.
Okay, here's the next comment. Jeff Tammy from Twitter says, I want to see Biden call out Trump on his lies. Time to face the facts. What would you say to that, Jeff?
I think it depends what side you're on, right? If you're on the left side, you definitely want to see that. And I'm going to say if you're on the right side, you probably want to see if Biden is all there, because that's what everyone is saying. I'm sorry about this, but they are saying, I don't know if Biden's going to live through his 4 years, right? If he's all there and he's got everything going on, that's going to debunk that whole theory. So I'd like to see them go face to face.
I want to see them go face to face. I actually, you brought up the conversation earlier, Jeff, and I get it that some people feel like that they are dealing with, two different, that they won't have the conversation, so to speak. We have to have the conversation, even if we force it, even if we end up being disappointed. Otherwise, you eliminate any sort of reaching across the aisle, any sort of understanding. How do we really see their different policies and how they deal with those policies if we can't have them face to face? So I don't agree with Nancy Pelosi on this one. And let's look at our megaphone. 73% of you believe that there should be a presidential debate this year. Coming up on DBL, a trend that's all about empowering women. How two friends are showing size means nothing when it comes to sporting the latest fashion trends. Plus, Kris Jenner wants to trademark an iconic phrase from Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Can you guess what it is? We'll be right back. Murder, mystery, and justice this weekend. Tune into our two-night True Crime Chronicles marathon. We are giving you an inside look at some of the most infamous and mysterious true crime cases from across the country.
For the first time, you're hearing from the former fugitive crime boss.
Tune in tomorrow night when we go back and explore the stories you saw right here on DBL. These cases are so important because a lot of them are bringing these injustices to light, right? And we hope that justice is finally served.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you have to take from it, let alone it just brings you right to the TV and you want to know what happened. But talking to some of these people, it's amazing.
It
stories.
is. I know. It absolutely is. In fact, go to our YouTube because you can watch all of the True Crime Chronicles there. If you're sticking around, here's what's coming up. Sherry Shepherd looks back on her time at The View, why she says it's the most painful experience she's ever gone through. Plus, baby name drama. We'll tell you who's accusing Katy Perry of being unoriginal when it comes to her daughter's name, Daisy. We'll be right back.
We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Album that just dropped today. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Erica joining us from home. Let's get started with a story about Katy Perry. So we know her daughter was born on Wednesday and that she and Orlando Bloom named her Daisy, but get this, an Australian radio DJ says Katy may have stolen the name from her. Katy met radio host Fifi Box while she was on a promotional tour down under. She also met Fifi's two children. The host says Katy was really fond of her youngest, Daisy. Watch.
It's funny, Feb. I just had a feeling because you were there, and we obviously recorded an interview for the radio. But then I thought when she released the song, I went, no, she wouldn't do a song and the baby. But we've got another Daisy.
Erica, would that bother you?
You know, Sam, it's so crazy because when I was on radio in Chicago at B96, I actually interviewed Katy Perry. And during that time, I remember saying the phrase, "You're going to hear me roar." And then lo and behold, years down the line, this is so silly. Daisy is like a super common name, and it's super cute. I can understand.
Erica Cobb responsible for Roar, everybody.
I love it.
This is crazy. You heard it here first. Jeff, what do you make of this? Would it bother? What would you feel if, now, what if it was somebody close to you? What if, you know, a year later, I have Miles, and I named Miles Layton? How would you feel about that?
I'd be flattered.
Really? We both have a Layton?
As long as you acknowledge it and fess up. Katy Perry's like, you know what, we were on the edge. Fifi, I did name my daughter because of that name. As long as you fess up to it, I think it's flattering. But for a radio DJ host, by the way, Erica, shout out to the Killer Bee, B96 in Chicago. But if I was a radio host, if I was a radio host, I don't know if I'd take credit for that, Fifi. That's awfully bold of you.
Yeah, and I think, again, a more common name, they don't really know each other. Who cares? Be flattered by it. But I will say, if it's one of my close friends, I think that's a little weird.
Close friends, yeah, but I mean, where does everyone get their name from, right?
True.
You hear it like from someone's name in school, and you're like, oh, that's a good name. Let's think about that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Sam's jelly.
I mean, I'm
and
just
we're thinking about having another, and Miles sounds good.
Are you really?
No, we're not. That was definitely a joke. I just wanted to use the Miles thing.
Hey, Miles is a more common name. So
or Sophie, either one. We're on the fence.
No, it's fine. Sherry Shepherd is opening up about her 7-year stint on The View. Speaking to People magazine, Sherry called her time on the show the most painful experience that she's ever gone through, but also said it was the best experience. Sherry said she cried in her dressing room for 3 years because Barbara Walters was so hard on her, but looking back, she says Barbara did it out of love. Ooh, Erica, did you ever have a boss who made you cry out of love? And given the fact that we all work on a panel show and we do how many hours a day of live television? I would say more than The View. There's definitely some tough times where you internalize and you may shed a tear in the dressing room.
Well, yeah, for sure. I think, you know, especially when it's a female relationship, I do find those boss-employee relationships a little different. I worked for a woman for a few years, and she was very, very hard on me. But I did understand that when I left that company, there were so many tools that I received from her. She was never disrespectful. She just really thought that I should be performing to a higher standard, which made me want to perform to a higher standard myself.
Jeff?
Yeah, I'm from a school of tough love, right? It's kind of my downfall. I'm a man. I was raised by, you know, I had 2 older brothers. All my friends had brothers. So it's kind of my downfall. I'm all about tough love. Sometimes I don't really give the delicate aspects of life. I'm just like, go after it. If you want it, go get it. And I even have this problem with my wife. So I'm from the school of tough love. I played football. I had coaches that were tough on me. So I'm all for this, but I could see the dynamic. Now, if you're crying for 3 years in your dressing room,
something's wrong.
There's a little bit of a problem.
There's got to be some. Yeah. Listen, I'm all for tough love too. In fact, I tell Bert Dubrow, senior executive producer, coach me. I tell Chris, our EP, coach me. I need to be coached. But there is a way to do it where you're not completely destroying that person. There's a way to empower that person with giving them constructive criticism. I need it, but if it turns into abuse.
Yeah, see, I need it too. I'm like, just take all the sugarcoat out, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and let's fix it.
Same. Okay, so the ultimate momager, Kris Jenner, is looking to trademark one of her iconic catchphrases. You might remember it from an old episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Watch.
Kim, you're doing amazing, sweetie.
Push this knee out.
That was Kris encouraging her daughter Kim during a Playboy shoot, by the way. Now, Kris has filed to officially trademark "You're Doing Amazing, Sweetie." She plans to put the saying on products like clothing, greeting cards, cosmetics, and baby onesies. Erica, what do you think of this? And what's your catchphrase, girl? Erica?
This is strange, giving the context of how this phrase became so popular, but you know what? She capitalizes on things. She's really great at it, so I'm sure that this will be successful as well. I don't think I have a catchphrase that's really mine.
Yeah, you do.
Other than, like, when I'm talking about the comeback. Friday is my...
Do you hear that, Erica?
I think I was going to say it was more the comeback that you're willing to earn.
Everyone's deserving of the comeback that they're willing to earn.
That's Erica Cobb right there.
First of all, Erica has a book of quotes that she could have a catchphrase from.
What about you?
Hold on, I'm
Big
going to stick
Jeff?
on Erica for a second.
Oh.
Her best catchphrase is her facial expressions.
Oh,
no
yeah.
words, just an Erica Cobb facial expression. You don't need any words.
My
It says
favorite
it
is
all.
when she says allegedly and she like points her eye. That's my favorite. Do you have a catchphrase?
I don't know. I want to say
Crush
Erica.
life.
When you say something, crush life. But when you
life.
say something to Erica Cobb's across the table, and she's like, you know, you're like, where in that sentence did I mess up?
Do
But
I
yeah,
have a
crush
catchphrase?
life.
I do have to
Yes.
tell you guys, though,
Yes.
this is important because in 1993, I was in the Miss Cities of America pageant, and I won best facial expressions out of all the contestants.
Makes sense. Makes sense, Erica.
That's
I'm not
perfect. What about
surprised.
your
What
crush
is
life?
mine?
I would
What's
say.
mine? I knew yours. I knew Erica's. Do I have one?
Try to think. Just say something. Spit something out there.
No.
Why?
Because you need to tell
Your
me.
catchphrase would be, here's what, okay, I'm gonna give you tough love.
Okay.
Your catchphrase wouldn't make sense because you always screw up like popular sayings.
Okay, I'll take it. So my catchphrase would take like a popular saying, like you can't, like you attract more bees with honey. That's
Right.
not really the phrase, but it would be my own tweak on it.
Yeah.
I'll dig it.
Yeah, like, there you go. We just made one up. You got it. Make the bumper sticker. I'll dig
Got it. I'll dig it. Leave me alone. Okay. Halle Berry is once again proving that age ain't nothing but a number. The 54-year-old actress looks amazing. In this topless photo she posted on Instagram, she captioned the post saying, "Self-love is never selfish." Erica, what do you make of the message?
You gotta love yourself if anybody else is gonna love you, so I don't see the problem.
Jeff?
2 words. I'll dig it.
3. Oh, I was going to say, never mind. Mine wasn't going to make sense.
Go.
I was going to say 3 words. I'll dig it. Because it's 2 words.
Oh, it is 3 words.
Yeah, but I didn't want to correct you, make you feel bad. Like you always correct
Well, I was
me.
making fun of you. That was tough love. That was tough love.
That's true. That's
See,
true.
it went both ways.
Yes, it does. It does. Okay.
2 words.
You're thinking dig it.
I don't know
All
what I'm
right.
thinking. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. Thank goodness. So there are apparently 2 questions you should ask your spouse every week to keep your bond strong. According to an article in Pop Sugar, the author says she and her husband ask each other, what would you like to be acknowledged for, as a way to give each partner a chance to speak up. And also about any thankless and unnoticed work. She says they also ask each other, what would you like me to know about your life, as a way to invite each other into their own individual worlds. I love this. Jeff and Erica, is this cheesy that I love this? I want to implement it. What do you like it, Jeff? Do you and Jordan do anything similar to this?
I like it. We were on a show called Marriage Boot Camp that, people think is corny, but we actually use some of the tools
what do you do?
that they taught us. Our biggest thing in our relationship was communicating what's going on. So with the tools, because they're like, get out your toolbox, and it's super corny, and they're like, you have to communicate. I hear what you're saying, and then you continue
Love that.
from there.
Yeah, you feel acknowledged.
It sounds corny, but now when we say it, we kind of laugh and get to the core of the problem.
I think it's important. Erica, do you and Anthony have any sort of questions that you ask one another to stay in tune to each other?
I think that anytime something is like a little amiss, we'll turn to each other and be like, are we still friends?
That's good.
So that's kind of our thing.
I literally want to do this. I want my husband and I, even though we're born on the same day, we are 2 completely different people. I'm overly communicative. He is underly, if that's even a word, communicative.
I was impressed.
And what was impressive?
Communicative.
And listen, my husband, I love him to pieces, but we need to have these types of questions and
So
conversations.
do you ever sit down and are honest?
We do, but it's not super carved out and super planned. And I want it to be carved out and planned, but maybe he doesn't. So that's where I'm going to have to take a couple steps back, because I'm very type A and he's not.
Oh my
God. But I would love this. I want it to be like my Friday dinner thing, like over a margarita. I take joy in stuff like this, and he cringes and
just
things like
knowing
this.
both of you sitting down, be like, honey, we need to use our tools, and Mark just being like,
yeah.
I can see it. I can picture
He'll
it right now.
go inward. But maybe we'll try it tonight. It's Friday.
I'm telling you, it works. You got to get through the uncomfortable to get comfortable. Right?
I like it. Is that your new catchphrase?
Maybe. 2 words. I got to get comfortable to get comfortable.
Coming up on DBL, a TikTok trend that's taking off thanks to 2 women promoting body positivity. You don't want to miss their inspiring message. Welcome back to DBL. Two best friends from New Jersey are proving style has no size limit, and they are going viral over their twinning fashion videos on TikTok. Earlier, Tori caught up with them in today's DBL Spotlight.
Body positivity. It's something best friends Denise Mercedes and Maria Castellanos are hoping to teach others. In January, Denise, who's a size 14, and Maria, who's a size 2, posted a photo of themselves wearing the same bathing suit on Instagram. The love they received from that photo inspired them to take it one step further, trying on a handful of identical outfits and posting their twinning video to TikTok. Today, that post has almost 35 million views, and the fashion videos haven't stopped. Only now they include the hashtag style, not size.
Denise and Maria in neutral. Welcome to DBL, looking fabulous. All right, your videos have millions of views. Why do you think your hashtag style, not size has resonated with so many women, including myself?
So I would definitely say that, you're giving the audience kind of an idea that you don't have to be a certain size to wear, a particular outfit. You could rock anything you want as long as you're confident and you don't care what people say.
Yeah.
So I think that's why.
I feel like that's literally why we call it style, not size. So it really is all about the fashion.
Yeah, you make it very clear. Style. It couldn't be clearer. Denise, let's be honest. There are haters on social media. Haters everywhere, but especially on social media. So, to the critics who say that plus-size fashion shouldn't be the same fashion as what Maria wears, I want you to look in the camera and tell me, what would you say to them?
When it comes to social media, I like to wear things that they say plus-size women shouldn't wear.
Yes.
So, for example, if they say that plus-size women shouldn't wear crop tops, then I'm gonna wear a smaller crop top. And if they say that I shouldn't, as a plus-size girl, I shouldn't be wearing a bikini, well then I'm gonna wear a micro bikini because that's what makes me comfortable. And I love my body and I want to be able to show it off.
I love it.
Are they daring? I love that.
I love that. Micro bikini are like my two scariest words, but like now you gave me some confidence right now, so I feel really good about that. Maria, if you had to say one thing that bugs you most about the fashion industry right now, what is it and how are you hoping to change it? I know the fashion industry is evolving right now because of COVID. What do you kind of hope it goes towards?
I feel like for us, it's just getting everyone out there to realize that women don't come in like one standard size.
Yeah.
So we really just want them to see that they can make clothes for absolutely everyone.
Do you guys think this could have been possible when you were kids growing up? I know you're not older. You're not old like Dinosaur Tori, but...
Oh, we're so old.
Yeah, but do you know what I'm saying? Like when you were little, could you imagine seeing two women do this?
No.
Right.
No, it's tough because when I was 16 years old, I didn't see this.
Right.
Yeah, I'm 28 now, but when I was 16 years old and I was like super insecure about my body, it was because I never saw stuff like this.
Yeah, and if I can add on to this, Denise, being the plus size model, influenced the standard body to be confident because I couldn't wear a bikini next to her. I was like, girl, you're the shining star right now. Like, I can't wear a bikini next to you. No. And she was like, Maria, you have a perfect body. You should be able to wear it and show it off. So
We all have a perfect body.
Exactly. So she influenced me, and that's why I felt like Style Not Size worked so well because we could influence everyone, not just the plus size world.
Denise and Maria, thank you for giving a voice for those who didn't have one before. Thank you so much for joining DBL. For those of you wanting to follow these fabulous ladies, check them out on TikTok or Instagram. Thanks again, ladies. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to DBL. Research shows there's been a surge in road trips and pet adoptions this summer. So when it comes to traveling with your pets, what's the best way to do it? We're chatting about it on today's DBL Drive, sponsored by CarShield. First, prepare your pet for a long trip. Take them on shorter car rides leading up to the big one. The second tip, buckle up. Your pet should be safe and secured in a well-ventilated crate or carrier. And make sure it's big enough for your pet to stand, sit, and turn around in. If you prefer no crate, keep them in the back seat with a harness attached to the seatbelt. Lastly, prep a travel kit. That includes water, food, a bowl, plastic bags, and a first aid kit. When it comes to traveling, for peace of mind, get an auto protection plan with CarShield. CarShield protects their members from the high cost of auto repairs. Call 1-800-505-9619 for a free quote. Oh, we did this, Erica and Jeff. When we moved, if you remember, from LA to Denver, that means you gotta move with all your fur babies too. So we moved with a dog, a newborn, and 4 cats. It was crazy time. We gave all of them like a anti-anxiety, and one of the cats, the brown one, did not react well to that like anti-anxiety, and like ended up like climbing its we had these big crates, ended up climbing on its crate and just did this. Like he was wired. Like, yeah, it was sad. It was poor, but he's okay. Everything's fine. But
I would have
yeah,
left him at the rest stop.
What? You sound like Chevy. No, that's like Chevy Chase. Erica, would you ever bring Spike on a road trip?
Well, we wouldn't have a choice if we were going on a road trip, but Spike is the worst in the car. We have to put him in the crate because he used to sit on Aunt Fran's, you know, Aunt Fran, we got him, she passed away, and he used to sit on her lap and look out the window, but our car isn't really built for that, so he just fights to get back in that spot, and it's just, yeah. Yeah, it's sweet, but it's also like, wow.
It's tough. Some animals they don't have it. Like Shorty didn't have it, Spike doesn't have it. Yeah.
Life. It's tough.
Good comment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to DBL. We've got a viral video to end the show. We all know that 2020, well, hasn't been easy, but you've got to see what happened when one groom joked about it at his wedding.
2020 has not been the best year.
On cue, Erica.
That was God saying things could be worse.
Right. He's acknowledging what a hellish year 2020 has been, E.
Yeah, you always got to pay attention to the signs because the signs will be there.
And Erica's really good at paying attention to signs. I've learned from her. Do you pay attention to the signs?
Remember that song? Signs, signs everywhere, signs. You remember that?
I know the song, but that's what they're saying?
Yeah, pay attention to the signs. It's called Signs, and I said signs 5 times.
I don't know if it's signs.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place Monday. Bye, Erica. Thank you. Bye, everybody.